Hello everyone, Tactical Glitch here, and welcome to our midweek tournament, Wednesday Faction Wars. And yeah, apologies, I was actually planning to do a meme 20 this week, but weekend was extremely busy, so I didn't really have time to sit down and think about the rule set. So this week we're still doing the regular midweek 20 with Conquest Mode, and let everyone just come over here and have some casual 20 action in multiplayer. And then I'll set aside some time this weekend to think about the rule sets for meme 20 and see how we can execute the trash. I was hoping to host another trash fire 20, but I need to review the rules again and make sure it kind of fits the meta on Conquest. I don't think I've ever hosted it on Conquest mode, only land battles, and before Conquest was even a thing. So yeah, definitely need to figure out need to check whether we need to see yeah. Shit, hold on. Hold on, let me just put a screen blocker first. Wait, yeah, there we go. Yep, nobody can see that. Sorry about that. I should have put up the screen blocker earlier, but I assume nobody really saw it, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm hoping to host another trash dumpster fire tourney. For those of you who don't know, it's a meme tourney where you don't get to pick your own army. Instead, you pick your army for your opponent. You have to, yeah, basically you have to build an army as shitty as possible, because this will be what you're fighting in every battle. You'll let your opponent use it, and every time you also will be using the army designed by your opponent. So yeah, it's gonna yeah, it's a very I find it a very funny meme 20 format, and I do want to pull it out from the corners of the attic again, and yeah, host it in Conquest mode. Yeah, I definitely haven't hosted in Conquest mode yet. I did it like once a year. I try not to repeat the same meme format too often. But yeah, I do want to do it again. Hopefully next week. I'll check. Yeah, I'll check the formats and all that stuff and see whether it needs any format adjustments or rule adjustments. But yeah, that is the plan, at least. Of course, I can't say 100% sure if it's happening, but that's definitely what I want to do next week. Yeah, but yeah, right now we're doing the usual Conquest Mode tourney, and we got a bye round in this Swiss format. So yeah, we're looking at a battle between Curio and Knight 2K. One's the Warriors of Chaos and the other is Bretonia, which makes sense. Curio was actually using the name Warriors of Curio on this on challenge, and Knight 2K, well, Knights. And when you talk about Knights, you think about Bretonia. Yeah. Oh, it's Angel playing as Bretonia. Okay. Alright, this is gonna be interesting, because I'm definitely seeing an interesting build from Angel, or Knight 2K here. And, yeah. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. And Angel is ready. It's gonna be Curio next, who has to get it prepared. Alright, looks like Curio is also done. So yeah, we can expect to see the battle starting soon. It's been a while since I get to cast live replays, to be fair. Because I've been casting replay formats with the Swiss format 20s for a while, and I think I'm gonna cast even more this week as well. Alright, let's, since we're loading in, let's unblock this. Archeon the Everchosen versus Reponse the Lyonnais. Looks like a Warriors of Chaos Cavalry army versus a Bretonian Peasant army with a lack of Grail Cavalry. If anything, the only Grail Rider, a Grail Knight equivalent here is the Green Knight, which, well, this is going to be interesting because there's a lot of magic damage coming from the Warriors of Chaos side. The Rotting Riders have magic damage, if I remember correctly, and of course Archaon has it, the Siege Exalted Hero has it, and of course Archaon can bring Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna to delete those units as well. We shall see what happens here. There's quite a few elite cavalry on the Warriors of Chaos side, plus a very strong character core. While Bretonnia was spamming peasants. Do you see how many of those battle pilgrims were there in the Bretonian army? And then there's also the foot squires. This is gonna be a rough one. This is gonna be a rough one for sure. Although Bretonian can definitely just crush the Marauder front line with no issue at all. The problem is whether the Warriors of Chaos can cycle charge effective enough to run down all the peasants. Definitely not impossible. Definitely it's not like a very, very difficult task, but yeah, we shall see what happens here. Bretonia also, because of all the investments in the peasants, they did not get to have much money left for those cavalry. Yeah, for the cavalry, there's only one questing knight, and that's it. Questing knights decent against infantry if they get a charge in, and like if in a prolonged melee combat. But the problem is these days with Grail cavalry being so much better, questing knights are just kind of meh. Like they have decent melee stats overall, but like they have nothing else going on for them. Like Armor Piercing, decent melee stats, they can do well in prolonged melee combat, but even the best of the questing knights, the companions of Canal, will still get wrecked in a one-on-one fight against Rot Knights and Rotting Riders. So I honestly don't know. Yeah, I feel like questing knights are just a lot more fragile these days for some reason. And then of course Archaon is on the other side, so Spirit Leech is there, Searing Doom is also there. Searing Doom onto the questing knights, and you can say goodbye to that unit basically if they're bunched up heavily. And Spirit Leech, of course, very good against the Green Knight, so this is gonna be rough, but Rapunzel the Mayonnaise is a very decent fighter on foot though. Oh crap, this is... Oh crap! Rapunzel is tall, holy shit. Like, Rapunzel is like slightly bigger than your typical Bretonian man. When you think about... But you thought the... she starts as a peasant, right? So technically she should probably be like the malnutritioned population of the Bretonia. So like she probably should be shorter, but well she's definitely bigger than your typical Bretonian man. Now that she's standing side by side next to the Battle Pilgrims, you can see she's definitely taller than the... Shit! She's actually much bigger than the Battle Pilgrims here. Not only the taller, but also like proportion-wise, a lot of her body parts are bigger. Anyways, okay, so for army builds, Battle Pilgrims in the front line, second line of Holy Wardens, Lamason Tau, Foot Squires, and the Beast Slayers of Baston, and also Pole Arms, Men at Arms. So a very elite peasant army. Well, it is still a peasant army, so it's there's a limit to how elite it can be. Oh, Book of Secrets from the Exalted Hero of Tinge. It is basically a direct damage spell if you use it. Yeah, it's just straight up deleting part of those HP from the questing knights. But here comes our Earth Blood from the Life Damsel to heal it back up. Green Knight going up against Archaon the Ever-Chosen, but absolutely getting slapped down. Fight or die, Slayer of Kings and Armor of Morcar. Juicing it up, Archaon's melee stats 104 and 84. And over almost 1,000. Oh, yeah, almost 1,000 weapon strength, and absolutely smashing apart the Green Knight, especially Archaon does like magic damage and bypasses the physical resistance of the Green Knight. And you can see Green Knight got absolutely destroyed, down to half health, and barely making a dent on Archaon's HP bar. For the Warriors of Chaos, a front line of Marauders, a couple of Hellstriders, and a couple of Rot Knights. One of them, the Rotting Riders, who are flanking around already. The Peasant Infantry are holding the front line just fine. They should be able to beat down the enemy front line with no issue. There are some Forsaken, though, so they trade a little bit better into Battle Pilgrims. and can do decent foot squires as well. The Questing Knight's taking all that damage from the Fate of Yuna Book of Secrets. That was not great for them, but they're still fighting and are now trying to beat back the Hellstriders. Archaon, though, over chasing the Green Knight, going into the middle of a bunch of Beast Slayers of Baston. Being slightly distracted by the peasant infantry, the Green Knight is now turning on the Dolores Blade with 50% damage boost and also armor piercing damage boost. Well, yeah, it's 100 up her armor piercing on the unit anyway. So yeah, 50% damage boost and also increased melee attack. He's having a much better time against Archaon. Archaon, after his buffs worn off and also being stuck in the enemy infantry, he is taking a ton of damage, down to less than half health as well. Rotting Riders, Hellstriders, and the Rotten Knights on the other side. Rotten Knights are being held back in reserve, but like the peasant infantry with actually a quality advantage this time and also the quantity advantage, managed to grind down the Marauders. But the problem are the enemy cavalry here was managed to clean up the half health Questing Knights. Even the Hellstriders took minimal damage. Oh wait, these are the ones they charge. Okay, so after sacrificing half a unit of Hellstriders, they managed to take out that Questing Knight. So no more mobility for the Bretonnians. They do still have some healing, but oh, the Exalted Hero of Tinge is right next to the Life Damsel, but not really focusing her down right now. I can't even see her. Okay, there we go. Yeah. He's fighting the Life Damsel. And with the Hellstrider support, yeah, the Life Damsel might want to go back to the protection of the Beast Slayers of Baston, while Archaon is just duking it out with some peasants on the other side, knowing that he doesn't really want to go into a character fight, especially not against Rapons or the Green Knight. So if he can get a couple of Spirit Leeches on the Green Knight, he probably goes down after that. But yeah, overall the peasants are swarming the enemy infantry. The problem is the enemy cavalry and characters who are yeah, like this Exalted Hero of Tinge here, still doing pretty well. Oh well, all things considered, the Hellstriders are not gonna be a threat any longer because they have stayed in the melee fight for a little too long there, overstaying their welcome and getting hacked down. Here comes a rear charge from the Rotting Riders, slamming into the backs of the Beast. No, Man-at-Arms, Pole-Arms, and Foot Squires. And at the same time, Damsel of Life being terrified away, probably because of the Rotting Riders nearby, who do have the Terror trait, coming in quite handy, breaking off some of those Bretonnian elements. But where are the Grail Reliquary? There's one here. So keeping these Battle Pilgrims alive and doing properly, holding properly against the terror-causing Archaon. He has turned on the armor of Morcar though, trying to boost his melee defense tankiness and also against the Green Knight Dolores Blade, boosting the melee attack and armor-piercing damage. Archaon, though, taking multiple hits. Seems like the armor of Morcar is not enough to save him, and he will be taken out. Green Knight still having 35 HP. That was quite unfortunate for Archaon. If he dumped in a bit more Spirit Leeches onto the Green Knight, things could have happened a lot more differently. But yeah, he went down. Balance of Power is slightly in Chaos' favor, but without Archaon holding up the leadership, or the Lord Death debuff hurting the leadership of the Chaos Army, this might be a bit more finicky. Though the terror from the Rotting Riders are still coming in very handy, as the Chaos Army is swarming these poor Foot Squires. They are not exactly terrified yet. They're still holding, barely, but still holding. And as the Peasant Maiden is close to them, encouraging them in spirit. And yeah, Men-at-Arms are holding. They should be able to hold fine with Rapons to Mayonnaise nearby. Grail Reliquary, I don't see them, but Green Knight, knowing that he cannot afford to go into another fight, is just gonna try and run over to the trees and hide away, while Rapons, giving everything around her that +5 melee attack and defense. The Banner of the Fleur de Lis. Wait, there's no Banner of Fleur de Lis? Okay, yeah, Fleur de Lis banner. Giving everything on that +5 melee stats boost, which is pretty nice. And also the Grail Reliquary nearby, boosting the leadership and giving immune to psychology. This blob of peasant managed to outlast the enemy marauders and cavalry as well, wearing them down in this battle of attrition. And seems like Rapunzel Meona is actually managed to win a battle. I have not been able to win with her for quite a long while, and it's really nice, heartwarming to see the peasant lady leading the peasants to victory. And this was pretty much a peasant army, yeah? outside of the questing knights, I guess, everything is mortal, and there's no Grail units other than the dead Grail knights, Grail Reliquae, and also the Green Knight, of course. But yeah, this is the closest thing to an all-peasant army we've seen in a while. Now the armies of Chaos will have to try and do some cycle charging using their ability to regenerate health and recuperate some of their HP and just cycle charge down the peasants who are just forming a blob around this capture point. Nobody really remembered to capture the point earlier, so 7 minutes into the game and we're still only on 100 victory tickets. Now, the Warriors of Chaos are just trying to snipe out single elements in this little blob of peasants. There's no spell casting option. Ooh, it looks like the Green Knight will be sniped out. No? Oh, he must have gotten... Oh, here comes the heal, trying to keep the Green Knight in the fight, but nope. One smack from the magical damage of the Exalted Hero of Siege, especially with the Colossal Strike, adding that bonus versus Lodge and making sure he does land the hit. Managed to slay the Green Knight, so no more mobility for the Bretonnians. It is just this huge blob of peasants trying to hold the line. One of the Grail, the Grail Reliquae, the remaining Grail Reliquae is also heavily damaged, so if the Exalted Hero can come over and just give it a good smack, it will go down. But we are on Conquest Mode, so people are free to take their time before timer runs out. Yeah, we might see a little bit more drag on combat here, as the Wrath Knights are just sitting back, slowly but surely regenerating the health with their regeneration trait. But I think that's about... Okay, they're still regenerating. We're probably gonna be here for a little while. Yeah. There's still quite a bit of heal cap for them remaining. And but yeah, the heal cap has appeared. And the Exalted Hero of Siege is probably just gonna try and snipe out the Grail Reliquae, taking out that immune to psychology element of these peasants, making sure that the Rotting Riders can deliver the terrorizing blow and break these peasants early. But of course, Angel / Knight 2K here noticed that intention and just moved that Grail Reliquae closer to this middle blob of peasants who are just sitting there waiting the time to end. And also, don't forget, they do have the Live Damsel dropping in those Earth Bloods here and there, making sure that these peasants can be healed up and in better shape for combat later. Now, this is where probably the Warriors of Chaos needs to move in again, just starting to do some cycle charging, because these are just peasants. If you can just keep cycle charging them, they will take damage and more damage over time, and before everyone being healed back by all those Earthblood spam, right? Although I guess the Exalted Hero of Siege is trying to exploit the Siege barrier here, jumping in once in a while and getting a smack into the peasants. But yeah, now the Rotting Riders, Rot Knights, are trying to activate. But yeah, the peasants are grazing and ready to absorb the charge. There's still 5 minutes left. Damn it! Oh no, we have to wait a while. Yeah, I guess this is the only downside of Conquest, is if the players forgot to capture early game and then they start capturing in mid to late game. Then the timer starts counting by then, and hopefully Kurio can activate his troops soon. It is not against the rule set to do this, honestly, but like, yeah, for the sake of what we're watching. Oh, okay, yeah, the peasants are facing that side earlier because the Rot Knights were on the other side, and then the Rot Knights went over to their back and tried to deliver a rear charge, but they might have delivered a charge. But at the same time, a few of them got pinned into the middle of the peasants. But then at the same time, these squads are being activated to go after the Rot Knights who were charging in earlier. They were not able to reform their formation early enough to brace. And don't forget about the Exalted Hero of Siege, just disrupting the enemy formation, breaking their bracing, and allowing these Rot Knights to deliver a bit more damage on the charge impact. And balance of power is back to the middle. The peasants no longer have that advantage, and yeah, they might need a few more Earth Bloods. Ooh, oh no, the damsels have been activated. I assume what Kurio did was selecting everything and just spam clicking at the closest enemy unit and try to get some attacking orders in. but at the same time, the damsel was moved out of position. Some of the peasants, like the foot squires, were not braced, and then they're just taking damage from the cycle charging. Now the Road Knights are just trying to cycle charge this game before the timer runs out for them, before the victory tickets finish topped up for the Bretonnians. But oh no, the Exalted Hero trying to do some cheeky cycle charging, but at the same time diving in means that he is stuck in the peasants for a bit, and taking a bit more damage every time he charges in. And then now the Rock Knights are trying to deliver some heavy attack damage, charging in every time, but they're not taking a whole lot of damage, just very wisely, just slightly tapping on the edges of the enemy formation. As soon as they can deliver some charge impact, they quickly pull out. The Exalted Hero though yeah, he probably is just gonna stay back and regenerate until the Tinge barrier comes back. But yeah, Rapunzel though comes in and gives these Rock Knights a smack, though she herself took some damage in the process. Maybe gonna take out down a Rock Knight or something. Can they even do it? The Rock Knights are healing and they're pretty healthy per mortal. Yeah, but time is on their side. As long as they can keep the control of this capture point, just keep holding, keeping the presence nearby, they should be able to hold long enough. Now the Battle Pilgrims and all try to go for a counter attack against them, but they are not doing a whole lot of damage with the armor and also the ward save of the Rotting Riders. Ooh, and a pretty nasty hit from the Exalted Hero against the Live Damsel, trying to take out the remaining healing. But the Live Damsel is not going down quietly into the night, trying to deliver a counter attack against the Exalted Hero, and also the peasants following up as well. Now, though, everything is piling in, Rapunzel Mayonnaise is not on horseback, making her a lot less threatening against these Rot Knights and Rotting Riders, which is unfortunate. If Rapunzel was on a horseback, she can be a bit more effective in intercepting the charge of these Rot Knights and maybe take down a couple models by doing some follow-up attacks as well. But right now, it is just a patient cycle charging game. Less than 2 minutes left. And let's see what happens here. As the peasants are still holding, their Grill Reliquite is still standing strong. There might be another Earthblood heal coming in soon, if there's even Winds of Magic left in there. But yeah, right now the peasants are holding the capture point. The Rot Knights cannot just stay in there and wait it out and duke it out with the peasants. Every time they cycle charge, they are gaining a bit more and more advantage. But time is not on their side. Less than a minute left. They need to do something fast to dislodge this blob of peasants who refuse to back down, thanks to the inspiration of the Grey Reliquite and Rapunzel Mayonnaise herself, and also of course the Earthblood heals from the damsel, keeping these peasants healed up and in the fight. This is the importance of a medic in battle. Very important here. Rapunzel Mayonnaise, every time she charges in against Road Knights, she just gets knocked over. That's why you want her on a horseback, and she would also have a more effective intercepting against the Rot Knights and all. But yeah, right now it is the Alpha Strike from both from the Warriors of Chaos, knowing that the Bretonnian peasants are weakened enough, but there's only 15 seconds left. Can they even do it? Like, they are definitely not capturing the point at this point. They need to induce the army losses. But the peasants are going down, but Rapunzel is still above half health. Everything is going down for Bretonnians. But Rapunzel, still being so healthy, is the sole survivor of the entire Bretonnia army, and yet she lives. So that is the victory to Bretonnian. Unbreakable peasants go. Yeah, having the unbreakable peasant, having that immune to psychology, the melee stat buffs from the Fleur de Lis banner, and also of course the healing from the damsel. Very importantly, keeping these peasants in the fight just long enough for them to drag the battle out into a Bretonnian victory via victory tickets. Oh man, these men-at-arms with poems did so much damage, dragging down the enemy Rot Knights, because some of them were very much just stuck in prolonged melee fight in the early game. Only in the late game, when every mobility went down on the Bretonnian side, and that the Warriors of Chaos have a lot less units to micro, only then they were able to sit back and do some patient cycle charging. But other than that, ooh, very nasty work from the Exalted Hero and Archaon as well, taking out the Green Knight. The Book of Secrets, definitely great deleting half a unit of the questing knights, making them much weaker in the subsequent fights. But unfortunately, I think Kurio, playing as the Warriors of Chaos here, took their sweet time a little too much here. Definitely should have waited less and just charged in, because when the Rod Knights were regenerating, the Damsel was also healing on the blob of peasants with the Earth Blood. Our Green Knight, although taking a lot of damage earlier, Archeon overstaying his welcome in the middle of a bunch of these Slayers of Baston allowed him to pick up a lot more value afterwards. And Rapunzel did pretty good too. She's on foot, so she's significantly cheaper, and she's not like an expensive lord either. So I think she definitely made back her worth over here. Yeah, like if I think she costs like 1,500 or even less if she's on foot. I don't remember the exact number, but yeah. The pole arms, some of them did very well here, and Battle Pilgrims also did well. Should have done the final collapse a little bit sooner. Yeah, you probably need to do it like at least half a minute sooner. Just waited a little too long there. Yeah. Alright, that is it for this battle. We are moving on to the next round of this tournament. I will be playing as well, since I had VM Flower and Hayseed are still duking it out. Okay. Let me just, actually, let me just change up the replay file a bit, maybe, and just to save the replays and all. What do we have? What was that? WOC versus, VRT. And, yeah, Hayseed and VM Flower were still duking it out. Oh, wait, no, they're done. Alright, it is our turn. Vampire Counts versus Dawiza. Now, I didn't exactly write Dawiza in my... Okay. On my challenge profile. But I did say Dwarf with tall hats, and you know who that is. You know who that is. VZ versus DW moment. Oh, no. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. It took them a while, but yeah. Vampire Counts versus Dwarves, it's gonna be a drag-down fight. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, Vampire Counts versus most of everything is a dragged-on fight. Yeah. Alright, let me just quickly, Oh, looks like Hayseed might have a lobby ready. Let me just see if they're gonna send me an invitation code over or not. Hayseed, you don't want in the replay of our round though. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's too much sense. Alright. Yeah, makes sense. Dowie versus Vampire Count, it is gonna be a dragged out replay for sure. Yeah, let's not watch that. Yeah, we can watch something else when we cast the replay. Okay, Shima Sword. All right, let's see. But to be fair, we did watch like half of a good 5 minutes of Psycho Charging Peasants. Psycho Charging Peasant Blob. So yeah, it shouldn't be the end of the world, right? Alright, anyways, we are fighting against oh, we're fighting against Vampire Counts. I want to play a bit more. Ooh, let's try this. Sneaky good. I want to play a bit more with the Hobgobble, so maybe we can do that. And We'll center renders. Oh, we need a flying cow for sure. Shallows of Darken. And then Fate of Buna. That's a very standard stuff. What else? Yeah, let's just get a couple Infernal Castellans. Don't need anything other than them being there shooting at whatever gets close. And then we need just a couple, 2 or 3 Bull Center renders. I think he gets to kill zombies and shit. I'm really tempted to bring the Death Shriekers. No, you know what? Never mind. I'm just gonna try out these guys. Cause I used to shit on them a lot, but apparently they're better these days. So let's see if that's truly the case here. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah. The reason why I want to play Chaos Dwarfs is want to test out whether these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with Hobgoblin units in general, like the Sneaky Kids, are they actually better or are they still crap? There's no point bringing these, then I might just see if I can get the Immortals online. They're so expensive, man. I don't have enough money for the Immortals or the Infernal Ironsworn. Both would be good. Alright, I need 20 more gold. Where can I squeeze out the 20 more gold? I need the Chalice of Blood and Potion. We have the long range firepower, I guess, and maybe I'll just not bring Fate of Buna and bring these and just get another of these. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Yeah, let's go. Sneaky gets to kill zombies and stuff, and then more Infernal Ironsworn to kill zombies and stuff. Or I can just go with more numbers, actually. And I'm out of money. Yeah, let's just do that, whatever. Just going for sheer numbers, which is probably not going to be great. But we do have 0 gold left over, so we do have a very beautiful army. In terms of budget-wise. Factually, no, but budget-wise, yes. Alright. We're going in. We've got some goblins in front. They don't actually have any use, I don't think. It's just numbers. And let's see what we can do with these. It's like our second layer of troops, but I don't think they're gonna be anything good. I think they should be able to handle like skeletons, zombies, that sort. The problem is I'm not sure about like the single entities in the skies. So or the monsters from the skies. That will be a tricky. Which is where the Infernal Castellan comes in handy, I think. Oh, Shimmer Sword had... Oh. I didn't realize Shimmer Sword has a central forest pocket. Good thing I didn't bring too much artillery today. I mean, Infernal Castellan are technically artillery, but also they are not. So I don't really worry. I'm not really worried about line of sight for bombarding stuff. Yeah. Oh, actually, I. Ready when you are. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Alright, looks like our opponent is ready as well, so, alright, we need to, group that up so that we can... Alright, let's just start. Let's start marching up. And there is no... Oh, there's no aerial units. Alright, let's see if we need to kill any grave gods. Alright, let's go there and start doing that. Oh, that's Black Knights, okay. Alright, we can probably start shooting at some of those, yeah, let's start shooting at the Virgo. Oh, Flock of Dooms, damn it! Von Karstein. Alright, you guys can pull back a bit. You guys go there, you guys go there, you guys charge that. And, where are my full center runners on the other side? Right there we go. Oh shit, well, we got overran on that side. Let's just jump in with some more stuff on this side. Alright, and I probably should have gotten my spirit, my Fate of Buna and all. Alright, let's see if we can just hold the line there. Start peppering them down over here. Get those sneaky gits over there and pull back a bit, start poking. Alright, Varguys as always is just fragile as fuck, so I don't really mind fighting that. Alright, let's just go and kill that. We can't really fight on this side, I don't think. Yeah, I'll go and sneaky get it down, but whatever. Alright, let's pull back with these guys. Let's just do some kiting with them, and we have still half a unit of full center renders left, so they will have to save. They will have to use them to save our asses. What? Oh, shaken leadership. Never mind. Yeah. Okay, that is a bit weird. All right. Internet, please hold. Please hold my internet. I need you. Alright, everything. Keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. I don't really care. Just keep running. Oh, and you start getting out of there. Alright, you can come over here and help your boss against everything up there. Alright, start peppering them down with fire, arrows, and also send some stuff over there. And you guys charge these. You can probably drop in another breath attack. Alright, yeah, I didn't even have to reverse the whole fucking screen for getting my units in. Alright, just hold the Grave Gods while you're at it. Everything start peppering stuff down there. And I guess I need a bit of a breath attack soon. Let's just burn that down and see what happens. I mean, the full center renders are done for, so there's no point. Oh, fuck! That probably killed more bull center renders than actually doing damage to the enemy. That was bad! That was bad, I should probably just throw the fire damage at the Grave Gods. Yeah, the Castellans are still there. Just not doing anything useful. Well, we still have these weakened ones, I guess. We can probably use them to some degree. Alright, start running. We can't. Where is the other? There are 2 Vargals. Okay. Let's just take one down first and see what happens. Alright, please land your arrows. Stop missing, for fuck's sake. Man, the arrows are just constantly missing. Come on, get out of there, please. Alright, you guys are still relatively healthy with not a lot of ammo. Just go and attack them in melee. And hopefully drag them down somehow. Just get out of there, for fuck's sake! Fly! Alright, you guys jump over there and fly high. Alright. Alright, fly high. Alright, at least we swarmed that down. So that's something. Infernal Castellans are still there, not doing a whole lot of things. Alright, we can kite now. Turn off fire at will so that they only shoot at them. Wait, you're still not flying. Come on, get back into the skies. Oh god. Alright, start straighting that one down. Alright, one down. A few more to go. Just get back into the skies, for fuck's sake! Alright, let's shoot that one down. Alright, we're back in the skies. That's good. That's good. Oh, I forgot about the capture point. Yeah, just send something over there, I guess. I totally forgot about capture point. Well, that was totally not embarrassing. Alright, let's go over there and start ravaging some of these zombie stuff. Alright, send stuff over. Can we get our troops over here and maybe just keep them pinned for now? Alright, turn off fire at will and then just let them use all the ammo on those. Right, just keep firing at things. Infernal Castellan, you guys are very important here, and just keep them captured right now. Alright, get our troops there. I totally forgot about the capture point thingy, and that I'm paying the price now. Oh, yeah, we can fight that. I don't really mind. Yeah, the Wolf Raiders are doing their job, distracting my enemies and keeping them occupied. And Sneaky Kids are killing zombies. That's exactly what I need them to do right now. And I guess. Alright, please actually be useful with your breath attack and stop doing friendly damage every damn time. Thank you. Alright, just shoot that then. Alright, let's just get these under our control. and start poking down their Vargos. Alright, as long as they're on fire, as long as we kill the regenerating single entity monster Bastion, we should be able to do okay. Alright, yeah, let's send out some stuff over it. Just, yeah, we have the capture point now. It's, things are a little bit more under control. Vargo is going down. And, I can just start spamming Spirit Leeches now. Good. Alright, keep these hobgoblins nearby. Grave Guards, and that's a zombie summon, which yeah. You can start shooting that guy. You can move out of there. I just need to send more stuff to the front line and buy me more time. Do we have anything else nearby? Okay. Alright, we are ravaging the front line and stuff, but yeah. Do we have something more?
Don't let players these ways!
Okay. Come over and smack them. Alright. Zombies we can handle them. We've got the resources to handle zombies. We don't have the resources for yeah, grave guards and stuff. That everything's standing way too close, and that gives them the optimal block of doom target. And all right, we're killing them with the vampire lord. That works. That works. The Infernal Castellan is in, just chopping up the Von Carstein vampire lord. That is fine, and we have chilled them up. And now I think we are pretty good to go. We're in a pretty safe position now. GG to my opponent. Very nicely played, and yeah. Okay, I took back what I used to say about the Wolf Raiders. Oh, hello everyone. Hello human boy. How was the Killstorm stream? Because I'm also playing Killstorm in today's tourney, so I guess you guys are in for some Killstorm action today. And yeah, hopefully you all had a great time. And yeah, more Killstorm action for today as well. A disclaimer: I did decide to play Killstorm this week, way before seeing Human Boy playing Killstorm today. But yeah, because I used to talk shit about the sneaky gits and especially the Wolf Raider with bows. I really talk a lot of shit about them, how they're really overpriced and they perform like shit. But okay, I take back whatever I said, and they're really good against anything with regeneration, and a lot of things have fire weakness these days. So yeah, they do pretty well. Killed a lot of HP from the Vargovs and acted like a decent melee mobility, intercepting some of the Black Knights and whatnot. And Sneaky Gits did really well against zombies and other vampire chaff. The rest of the infantry doesn't really do much, but they're just chaff. So yeah, I did miss micro one of the Bull Center renders, but the other did well. And Castellan were just there. They were just there acting as a bit of a balance of power and stuff. It's the Sorcerer Prophet and the Flying Cow carrying the day. Rat Raiders are better. Yeah, probably the rats have better weapons teams and tech. Not like cavalry, not like mobility though. But yeah, Vargov. I always feel like the Var guys are just way too fragile. A lot of people play with them. The problem is they just die so fast. You can't really save them, and that's exactly what happened here. They just kind of died straight to some of these Hobgoblin Wolf Raider archers too. And yeah, the Grave Gods did all right, not amazing, but I didn't have a lot of things to counter them other than the breath attack from the Sorcerer Prophet. But yeah, ooh, that's a lot of damage from the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. I guess it's from the Flock of Dooms and just knocking out a bunch of health from my Sorcerer Prophet of Death. Yeah. Alright, next round we do have 2 more rounds, and this time we are up against Norska, I think, from Skabrand. But yeah, that was a rather close battle between the Chaos Dwarfs and the Vampire Counts. Next up I'm fighting Scarbrand. Alright, I think this is the third week we're going up against each other, so I really need to take one back. I need to take one win back from the guy. I can't just keep losing against him. Norska, usually I'm on the other side of things, spamming familiars. I need to probably design my army against that. Oops, hold on. Okay, we're not bringing these missiles. They do nothing against the Muse, and yeah, just no. Just no. Let me think. Do I go with... Oh, they are already ready. Holy hell. I'll probably... Huh, you know what? I'll bring Drazoaf just cause why not? Cinderbreath. Let's see. I need a Dark Renown. And then Curse of Hashut and Ash Storm, plus an Inferno Castellan, just for the Breath of Hatred. We don't need two, we just need one. Also, we can't bring two, as per Fruit rules. We have the Spellcaster, so just bring normal Bull Center Renders, because we already have the melee attack buffs from these two characters. Just kind of going for like a melee rush build and see what happens here. Sneaky Gits with a line of just Goblin Laborers and a couple Iron Sworn Blazing Beards. Yeah, just a couple of Sneaky Gits, and let's see what happens. We do have a line of Chaff in front, I guess, with a bit of a rush build. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Optimally, I probably would have just cut out the Inferno Irons. Actually, that might be a good idea. Just bring one Inferno Irons, one Blazing Beards, and yeah. Bring a Kadai Fireborn and some more Sneaky Gits. You know what? Not Sneaky Gits. I need these Wolf Raiders with bows have served me well in the last battle, so I'm gonna bring them in again. And then... yeah, we just get these much off stuff. Yeah, whatever, let's go. Trust often, so there's a chance that the visibility is absolute crap. CD are really fun after their buffs. Yeah, they feel a lot more better to play now. Especially the Hobgobble units. The Sneaky Gits feels decent, like going into Chaff and stuff, and then Wolf Raiders with bows, the fire damage comes in really handy against stuff with regeneration and fire weaknesses, and we're probably gonna go up against Skin Wolves, so let's just bring a bunch. Even if they don't have Skin Wolves, we can use that to just like shoot at Marauders and stuff. So, like, it's not too bad. Like, even if there's familiars, these guys are fast enough just to survive and run away from stuff like Ice Wolves, but we do have to keep them with skirmish mode, making sure that they run away in time. If they don't run away in time, they're just gonna get slowed and dragged into their death, but yeah, whatever. Alright. 2 explosive infantry. A lot of chaff, and let's see what I... oh, actually. Some of these chaff can go a little bit further out, just to screen enemy mobility if need be. These two stay at the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then these are the infantry units. All right, ready as well. Looks like our opponent is already ready, so we are just gonna get it started. That's a lot of. There's no familiars. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's just start doing that actually. All right, it's fine. I mean, we're not really designed around the familiar build anyway, so let's just keep going. We can just start spamming this actually. Why is the Ice Wolf chariots? Damn. Oh yeah, these Ice Wolf chariots are toast. Oh shit! Whole unit of these laborers are gone like that. Damn. Alright, I mean these are laborers, but it's still sad that they go down like that. They could have done a lot more damage absorption. Just keep shooting and alright, let's just start pushing their back line, I guess. And yeah, let's do that. Start draining them down. Pull back some of our full center renders. This guy keep shooting. Alright, let's just jump in and turn this on for everything in the vicinity. Alright, these laborers doesn't really need to do anything, so oh, pull back. Just stand there and fight. Oh boy! Oh, we're killing that castle. That's good. But everything else is not great for us. Holy shit! Army too narrow. That's not great. Yeah. And too many javelins actually. Okay. Yeah, our army is just too thin, too narrow to deal with this stuff. Let me get out of there. Get some of our missiles in there as well, and get a breath attack in. Okay, we have pressured off some of their stuff. Alright, just keep getting those guys up. Alright, keep draining more friction. Alright, we are pushing some of their stuff back. That is, I was a bit surprised. Like, I thought, okay, interesting. I thought like, keep shooting. Oh, he doesn't have, oh right, I forgot. He doesn't have Chalice of Blood. Get out of there, get out of there. You can't stay in there. You can't take any more damage, if anything. Okay, somehow we managed to push back a bunch of their missile assets. So I guess it's good. But at the same time, get out of there! Stop staying in the fight and all! Get out of there! Alright, get in there. Save your leash, but just stay in the skies afterwards. Don't get down onto the ground anymore. Yeah. Everything are just dying. Alright, we're back in the skies. We're also out of Winds of Magic. It's not great. Alright. Just keep shooting then. Alright, what can we do right now? The Immortals keep pushing. You guys chase it down. guys keep running. You guys run back over here. I have left you guys on the side long enough. You guys can start coming back to fight. You can also spirit leech that. Keep shooting Wolfric, please. And you come over and capture the point. Alright, fight that. Alright, you guys come over and fight the chariots and keep them occupied instead of keep letting them shoot my Leaf Lord. Alright, we have the infantry advantage here. We just need to keep those missiles busy. Oh shit, those didn't survive. Alright, right. Send some of those stuff over there. You guys keep chasing them down. We are capturing the point, that's fine. Yeah, we need a breath attack somewhere. Keep chasing that, you guys. Oh no. We're running out of mobility though. Oh, well, that was a whiff of breath attack. That was a big whiff of breath attack. Yeah, just keep shooting. You stay back. Just fight stuff on the that are weak. Alright, you stay back and maybe shoot that at your ship. Actually, there's no missiles on this side. We can probably do something about it. Alright, keep pulling back. You keep pulling back. And can you drop a spell on that? Yep. That's fine. Alright, alright. Just drain them down and see what happens. Alright, pull back. You can't fight any of these. You can't even stay near the Javies. Alright, just go do that. Shoot Wolfric. And Infernal Castellan carrying the game. Alright, get one charge in and alright. Now you go pressure that. We deal with the Marauders on this side. The Javelins are still a little too far away. Oh, and I forgot about that part. Doesn't matter.
Smash up.
Can we squeeze out another spell? We need a few more Winds of Magic. Yeah, that's another 20 each second. Alright. These infantry should be able to hold fine. Just keep them occupied. Alright, you run. You run! You run! Run away! You can't let the Javies catch you. Go! Alright, I think my opponent threw in the towel. That's fine. Alright, GG to my opponent. I was quite scared if they went for a familiar spam because which is why I didn't bring any missiles. But yeah, probably should have brought the Great Weapon Booster and Surrenders. But once again, these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders did alright. And the Castellan carried pretty hard in the late game, just poking at Wolfric and dropping his health down over time, and just shooting at whatever he can get his hands on. Didn't do a whole lot of kills, but earned back his worth and then some more. Even after I gave him the attacking ability, forgot the name of that item, but yes, that was not quite useful here. But yeah, Blazing Beers of Basrak and Infernal Iron Sworn, as always, carrying the game with their explosions, and yeah, mostly is these guys holding the game till the end, and pressuring off a lot of the javelins and throwing axes. I was actually surprised the Hobgoblins and Wolf Raiders actually managing to push back some of these Marauder Hunters. I was thinking that the Marauder Hunters would have beaten them up, but yeah, apparently they did some work here. Managed to drive back some of those javelins and throwing axes, and that basically helped keeping a lot of my stuff alive in the late game. But yeah, oh, Soul Crusher crushing some souls for sure. And Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots did a lot of damage over time. Definitely running over a lot of my Goblin Laborers. Deleting my frontline before they even get this chance to get into the fight. But yeah, overall, yeah, it is. I think it is perhaps time to nerf the Infernal Iron Sworn. They are just a little bit too strong, I feel like, in the current meta. They're so good. And now that the rest of the Chaos Dwarf army is up to speed, is not doing horribly, you don't need these like soul carries of the Chaos Dwarf's army to be that strong anymore. And they are now making the Chaos Dwarf army a little bit too good, I feel like. Overall, on the other side though, some of these Murder Hunters didn't get a whole lot of damage. I think they just got caught by laborers pushing into them. And just got dragged into melee as well. Alright. Final round. Or we're still waiting for the one final fight between Skavens and Dwarves. Oh, that is not a fortunate. That is a quite unfortunate matchup for the Dowie. Maybe. It depends actually. It is pretty much Dowie versus Skaven is pretty much a build roulette. Depends on like whether your opponent brought like the optimal build into the matchup. Dwarves should be able to delay a unit of laborers for extra wins. That would be fun too, actually. Because the laborers are so shit, you don't really have a use for them. But if you can exchange them for Winds of Magic, that would be that would give them a lot more utility in battle. Other than just being a roadblock. It being one of the shittiest roadblock in the game. But yeah, let's see. Let's just pick up some replays from the chat. Oh, not yeah, from the channel. And then we can start casting once we're done with the live section of the 20. Well, it looks like the Skaven versus Dowie battle is still going on, so we can start casting some replays actually. While we do have some downtime. Yeah, there we go. Norska versus Skaven in this first round. In round 1, the other matchup is Dwarves versus Vampire Counts. And I was advised not to cast this. Just because how long it dragged on between the Dwarves and the Vampire Count, so yeah. Yep. So we're only casting one other battle in the first round because we already watched the other one. And yeah, let's see what happens here. Now, for the Norskans from Skarbrand, a front line of Marauders, plus more Ice Wolf Chariots. Not a meta pick for sure, but it's still going to be interesting as there's a lot of Skaven infantry-sized models, making them a decent use. Especially the armor-piercing missiles, making them do okay against weapons teams as well. Other than that, Norscan Ice Wolves and Skin Wolves on both sides. There are some Marauder Horsemen with their Javelins as well, making some very cost-efficient mobility. Ooh, Soul Crusher. Nope, just a War Mammoth with War Shrine, still having that leadership to boost the Marauders, allowing them to stay in the fight a little longer, and also the Giver of Glory for physical resistance nearby. And Vigor Refresh. This is probably the more important thing. Frog leading the army with a Fire Shaman Sorcerer support. With that, Burning Head would be easily able to clear out the enemy infantry. On the other side, for the Skaven army, Night Runners, Ashen Triads, a very light and mobile army for a Skaven army. No weapons teams actually. Skaven Slave Spears, Ashen Triads, Gutter Runners, Night Runners, the usual skirmishing spam for the Skaven. And, are they Clamorets? No, just Skaven Slave Spears. The cheapest, easiest infantry out, and then the Ashen Triads. A bunch of Red Ogres and Doom Flayers, adding a bit more mass and anti-infantry fighting power there. Leading the army is a Kick Claw, supported by a Plague Priest with Wither and Wither only to lower enemy armor. Are they expecting Familiar Warriors? Probably. Probably? But yeah, I guess they can also use the Wither onto the Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots. Wait, there's also an Ashen Saucer? What the fuck? Brittle Bolt, melee defense drop, and just Brittle Bolt? What? I'm very confused by this Skaven army. Oh, hold on. It seems like we might. Oh, hold on. We have round 4 upcoming, but we'll try to finish this one first. Let's not drop the battle halfway. Burning Hand straight onto the Gutter Runners, burning them down, but not doing devastating damage yet. Just a quarter of HP, but it's Skaven. They take damage. You expect them to just suffer and die, and then let more numbers take their place or something like that. Throg is pushing up, but he's eating some scrap metal to the face. The shurikens from the Night Runners are just getting thrown. And Noska and I Wolves collapsing as the Red Ogres are trying to countercharge Frog, exposing them to the enemy mobility. The Skin Wolves, Ice Wolves are all in. Ashen Triads are charging in as well, trying to keep the enemy in the fight and drag them down with their anti-large, but the Ice Wolf Chariot, which is what they were targeting, has bailed out of the situation. Norscan Ice Wolves, though, just got stuck for a little too long there and will be routed on the other side. Skaven Slaves are a bit out of position, but they did manage to drag down some Ice Wolves. And Frog taking a lot of skirmishing damage from the Night Runners and Gutter Runners nearby. But at the same time, they also use up most of their ammo. Gutter Runners and Night Runners don't have the most ammo if they're not the Sling variant, and yeah, they're just dying to that. Wait, hold on. Excuse me, might need to do some tournament admin, because I don't know if there's a player who decided to drop out in the late game. Oh wait, no, they're already done with round 4. Holy shit, that was fast. Alright, never mind. We'll just keep playing for now. Burning Hand onto Gutter Runners here. Ice Wolves, who have been routed earlier, will be seen off by even more skirmishing firepower, just picking them off there. Now the Ice Wolves and Skin Wolves are wrapping around while the Skavens are focusing on this flank. You're piling a lot of resources. The Doom Flayers, Ashen Triads, all going in. The War Mammoth War Shrine has been committed to the fight, and now also falling victim to a bunch of Gutter Runner shots. The Wither actually is coming in really handy right now, debuffing the War Mammoth down to only... Wait, oh right, I forgot about Weeping Blade of the Skaven Ashen Triads. That cuts down the enemy armor by half, and on top of that with the 30 armor reduction over the Wither, down to only 10 armor and taking substantial damage from all these Night Runners and Gutter Runners from all flanks. Yeah, the War Mammoth taking a lot of damage due to the armor debuff combo. Very nicely played by B6A6S here. Yeah, B6, I'll just call him B6. Playing as Skaven. A very interesting armor debuff combo. Very nicely done. And yeah, Frog is now pitted. Yeah, Frog is now pushing in as well, but being pinned down by Red Ogres and Doom Slayers. While on the far side, there's Skin Wolves and Ice Wolves trying to go after the enemy skirmishers, but constantly taking more and more damage, with the Skaven Slaves and Ashen Triads close after them, trying to pick off these large combatants. Marauders didn't really get to see a lot of action so far, mostly fighting Skaven Slaves. Unfortunately, just not doing their job to shut down the enemy skirmishers and screen off enemy missiles or anything. Same goes for the Marauder Horsemasters. Oh, these are Horsemasters? Oh, wait, one Horseman, one Horsemaster. They didn't really have the time. They weren't really in the position to take down the Gutter Runners, as the Gutter Runners, very nicely done by the Skaven player, just focusing the troops on one side while keeping them well protected, just crushing the enemy forces bit by bit, converging their concentrating their forces onto one flank. Now the Skavens might have an advantage right now, but of course the Norscan do have that regeneration available to them with the Skin Wolves, Frog himself, and they might still be able to come back. We shall see. The Murder Ice Wolf Chariots, this one at half health, this one's probably not going to be around for long as they're very weak, but still able to run down some routed Skavens. So yeah, still able to do something here. Skin Wolves going after the Gutter Runners and Night Runners, trying to just shut down the enemy skirmishings before they can even do more damage to the rest of the Norscan army. And without the Withering and Weeping Blade combo, suddenly the War Mammoth isn't as vulnerable as before. Plus, they do have some physical resistance coming in with their Giver of Glory, I think. Yeah. So yeah, they're still holding. They're still holding, and they're a little bit more survivable now that they have that physical resistance. And but yeah, Frog not doing too hot though, because he is now the victim of all those missiles. But he is slapping Kick Claw with his anti-large damage. Just that he needs to get out of there and heal up a bit, maybe. Oh wait, no, never mind. Winter Tooth Crown, keeping stuff in the vicinity with perfect leadership for as long as the ability item is active. And the Skin Wolf mobility plus Ice Wolves were able to push off a lot of the Night Runners. Now suddenly things are back in favor of the Norskins. As long as they can keep Frog alive, that is. If Frog goes down, the Norskins will take a massive leadership penalty, and that might be the end of them. But Ikiko has been routed. Maybe Norskins can spare some mobility to chase him down. Because if they allow Ikit to return, that would be a devastating blow. If there's a single... Oh wait, no, Flensing Ruin. Okay, never mind. Normally you see Ikit with Flensing Ruin. He does not have Flensing Ruin at this point, but yeah. So anyways, yeah, he will not be able to finish Frog even if he comes back. Anyways, he's not coming back with the Ice Wolf Chariots going after him, and Frog has stabilized his leadership, slowly regenerating, while the rest of the mobility, the Horse Masters, Horsemen, Ice Wolf Chariots, and the Skin Wolves are just running through the enemy mobility, running through the Skaven skirmishers and all that. The Withering is an interesting tech piece for sure, an interesting combo with the Weeping Blade, but unfortunately it is only useful on the War Mammoth, and it still fails to kill it, as the War Mammoth just has so much HP, and some missile resistance as well. And yeah, very well played by the Skaven player. It was a very close battle. Like, on paper, like on what we're seeing right now, it's not that close because we can still see some very healthy Skin Wolves and all that, but if Frog took a bit more damage and the War Mammoth go down a little bit sooner, then things can be a bit more different. But right now with a Kick Claw gone, there's pretty much no hope for the Skavens to turn this one back, as the Skaven leadership simply would not hold, and that shall be victory for Norska in this Norskan versus Skaven battle. Decent damage from the Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots, but Frog doing a lot of damage, Soul Crusher, the War Shrine Mammoth as well, but yeah, overall actually the damage value in total isn't that insane for the Norskan, because a lot of the Skavens aren't actually being killed yet. Just that with the leadership breaking as a Kick Claw fled from the battlefield, the Skavens are not going to be holding on for much longer. A lot of them would just be a lot more vulnerable to routing, and also the Gutter Runners and Night Runners were out of ammo. As again, they just do not have the most ammo reserves in the game. Unless you're bringing the Slingers, but the Slingers doesn't have 360 shooting. Anyways, we shall go up against Angel with their Bretonnian army. Yeah. Let's see if Angel is ready for a game. Okay, this is Bretonnia now. Okay, this is a bit rough. I can't do like cavalry skirmish anymore. B6A6S, it's the ultimate army. Yeah, I feel like it is a very interesting combination of all the units. So I do like the build a lot, but I feel like you don't, with all the investment into the armor debuff tag, you probably don't even need the Ashen Sorcerer. You probably just need, yeah, you probably just need a kit and the Pestilent Caster, and that's probably enough. A kid can bring something like Brass Orb or something. But yeah, need to go and invite my opponent to the lobby. And also pick the map as well. Pillar of Bone for this final round combat. Let's bring the Kadai Destroyer in. This is gonna be fucked, but that's the point. Let's bring a Kadai Destroyer. We need a Bull Center Torok. He's a good anti-large combatant. Oh, we negate magic weapons within the area. Oh, let's do that, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Armor debuff? No, I don't really need that. Guardian? Yeah, let's do that. And... Alright, we're just gonna blob up with this one then. Or... You know what? Let's try a different... Okay, let's not do Kadai Fireball. We're gonna do double Hell Cannon build. Just cause we need a couple Bull Center renders to guard the back line. Hobgoblin Sneaky gets a few of them to deal with peasants. While the Hell Cannon can shoot everything. Sneaky gets, and then leading the army is Thousand the black on Lamasu and Sadistic Snare. Let's try that. Plus one single caster of some sort. We don't need Reforge. Let's just do Lord of Fire, making sure the peasants aren't coming in. No, just to Searing Doom actually. Searing Doom, we don't have any other use of other spells. Hold on, Final Transmutation, I guess. And we're out of money. Alright, let's... Nope, we don't have enough money for Bale Taurus, so... We cut out some expenditures. We cut some expenses. And hopefully afford what we want. Oh, no, Bale Taurus, Lamasu, and... yeah, let's see what happens, I guess. Or maybe I shouldn't bring both. Just do that, and then we have much more money that way. Yeah, we'll do that. Whatever. And we still have some money left. Demon Floss, does it do dark damage? Yes, it... No, it doesn't. Nah, can't be bothered. Yeah. 500 gold left. I have no idea what to use it on, so... We got a Blazing Beards of Bazarak. We just need to, Alright, we can barely get a Blazing Beards of Bazarak. And yeah, that's, I guess, our army here. Lamasu, Enfeebling Foe, Withering. Neither of them are great abilities. We'll probably just get a Great Taurus to fly around then. Why does Zatan not be able to get a Bale Taurus? That would have make things a lot more convenient. Ah well. Come on. Yeah, I think that should be it. Alright, we'll just get a Llamas or whatever. Alright, that should be all the army built. This is a very small map, so let's see what happens. Oh, hello, David. Alright, we are waiting. Oh, there might be a bit of an internet connection issues between different players, so we do sometimes load quite a long while. Alright, let's see. Alright, hold on. Alright, cool. Let's just spread out the army, get the artillery at the back, and hopefully they can do something about the Griot cavalry. And we'll get the laborers in the middle to shield them. And then we have a second line of peasant killers. Searing Doom, Caster, probably should have won Burning Head, but I want something that might be able to deal with heavy cavalry. Let's see what happens here. And we have a couple more full center renders to screen. We shall see. Alright. Double Hell Cannon build. Let's see whether it can work here. Alright, ready when my opponent is. So let's get started. Now, I am afraid there might be some Vanguard deployed behind me, but we shall see. Okay! That's a lot of infantry. That works. That works! We can do this. Kind of. Oh, this time it's not Repulse de Mayonnaise. It's just... Okay. It's a Fey Enchantress. Somehow we managed to get a decent army for this? Okay. Bring some of our peasants back and just send up. Oh wow, okay, that did some pretty good damage against the Fey. Ignore everything at the back there. Alright, the Hellcannons are doing their thing, so I'm just gonna let them keep doing their thing. Okay, this is not great. I overestimated the Hobgoblin cutthroats a bit. Let's just get the infantry in there actually. Get some of those troops in there, and you guys can just keep firing into the enemy blob and keep bombarding them. They're doing a whole fucking lot of damage. Yeah, you can go there actually. Alright, you're not going anywhere. Oh, and oh, we also have a llama suit too, so yeah. She dead. She freaking dead. You know what? You can run away for a bit here. Just kill the Fae, and then we can go after the Green Knight afterwards. Oh, everything's running. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah, you know what? We go and deal with that. Go and deal with that. Pull back some of our forces there. We can bring up some of... Yeah, I think we just got lucky with the army build, honestly. Yeah. Like, if this is a Bretonnian, traditional Bretonnian army would probably be dead already. But, yeah. My opponent decided to go with a fun build with a lot of peasants, so it worked. It worked. We just somehow managed to get a lucky build, honestly. Yeah. So, but sometimes, like, the build roulette is part of the game. So, yeah. Oh, the friendly fire! Oh, point blank! Alright, you know what? Get out. Wait, I need a couple more winds of magic to get a final transmutation out. Alright, you can run out of there. You can shoot that, I guess. Alright, yeah. Final transmutation, go trick. And you guys start running away. Alright, you guys can stay the hell away from Butcher. The Cow Cannons pretty much have done their job, kind of. Right, stop shooting, stop shooting. You can capture the point and just wait for the game to end, kind of. Alright, I don't have any more spells. Winds of Magic left. Oh no, not the friendly fire! Boom, friendly fire. Yeah, you stop shooting. Okay, actually, you know what? You can start shooting at the Green Knight, you both. Alright, you run away from there, because the cannons... Hell cannons are firing in! Hell cannons are firing in! No! Alright, friendly fire it is. Come on, Hell cannon, just start shooting at the Green Knight. While he's still pinned down. Alright, there we go. Get some damage in. Smack him down with the tracking damage. Everything else, go and fight Go Trick. And just wear him down. Alright, Green Knight is trying to run away. Alright, I think we can get rid of Green Knight soon. Just need a couple more artillery shots. We're tracking it, so yeah. Another hit, maybe? There we go, done. And Green Knight's down. Character sniping artillery. That is what Hell Cannon is. Alright, these guys can go away and stay away from Go Trick. I can send the sneaky gets to deal with Gotrek, I guess.
That's Lothric! This way!
And just stand some.
Sneak gets aggro!
Alright, everything just stand there and slowly grind down Gotrek instead. Sneaky gets carrying the game. But yeah, I got lucky though with the army build, honestly. Yeah, I definitely got lucky with the army build. Like, it's a very infantry-heavy army. If there is more, like, Grail Knights, I would be in a lot more trouble. Or if they decided to go with, like, Knights of the Realm spam. But yeah. Because, like, artillery, Hell Cannon can do good damage to Grail Knights and all, but it takes time. And with Grail Knights, you don't really have the time to slowly shoot at them. But yeah, overall, yeah, got lucky. Like, I don't think I'm like a better player or anything, but in terms of skills, it's in this exact game, it's very much a build roulette that did not work out for my opponent. Yeah, and yeah, I think we managed to get a game win right here. And I might need to go and fight Scarbrand for the finals then. Alright, because we now have 2 players with 3 wins, and I gotta buy a round, so I don't count that as a win. I'd rather just fight the other person with 3 wins and see who gets the first place in the 20. We might see another Noskin versus Chaos Dwarf rematch at this point, since Gabran and I are both on 3 wins in this Swiss format 20. Now it's just a matter of whether we're getting a best of 3 or best of 1 out of this. Alright, looks like we're getting a best of 3. Let me just quickly grab the maps for the final. Yeah, for the finals first. Give me a second. Oh wait, no. Let's not do Ashen. Ashen's Ashen's lighting is horrible. River Amexon? I don't River Amexon is a pretty tight map if I remember correctly. You don't have a lot of space in there, so let's Cliff of Beast is fine. Cliff of Beast is fine. Ashen, horrible lighting, let's not spend a lot of painful time to watch that. Yeah, let's do 20 grounds as well. That will work. I'm not sure about Wyvern Lake actually, but yeah, Lost Crater. Horn Hills works. Horn Hills works. maps are decided. I just need to get my opponent in the lobby, and then we have a best of 3 between Chaos Dwarfs and Norska. Let's start with Cliff of Beasts in terms of map. And let's go with the first battle. Let's try something different since... Ooh. Ooh! Huh. Oh wait, hold on. Why do I not have... Alright, cool. Let's restart the lobbies. Apparently my opponent can't join. Or my opponent can host, and then we can join them. Yeah, it is a Killstone versus Norsca match. Will my opponent go for that infantry heavy build? I don't know, but you know what? You know what? Let's oh no, if they go for me heavy, then I'm screwed. I don't want to go. You know what? Let's do it again. Hell Cannon build, double Hell Cannon build once again. Let's see if we can fight them with that. What else? Let's see. Zontan the Black. Just bring Lamasa can be decent, just a Withering and a Enfeebling foe, and more importantly, the Silencing Aura. Sorceress Miasma. That might come in handy to silence the enemy. What else? And then Demon Smith Sorcerer of Death. No, I'm just gonna bring a Demon Smith Sorcerer of Hashut. Once again, Curse of Hashut. Chalice of Blunt Potions. Bale Taurus makes it a better fighter and all. And do I want Flames of Asgore just cause why? Just for the sake of it. Anyways, let's not do that first. Just get a couple Bulls and Duranders in case they have... And then... a ton of chaff. Just to screen the enemy and maybe try and pull off a long-range bombardment and yeah, and see what happens. I mean, if they're going infantry heavy again, maybe we can do it. If they're not, then we are in a bit of trouble. Alright, let's get this one sorted. Alright, let's see. We have, we spread out some of these units all over the place. Let's see what happens. We do have a bit more space, so I guess we can just keep some of these, keep the Hell Cannons far back and should be fine. The problem is this map has a lot more space for our opponent to flank us. And of course, Norskin's having a lot of mobility. Yeah, this is gonna be a tricky one. We'll have to keep these Bull Center Renders a little tighter. And yeah, we're just here to spam Curse of Hushut, really. I probably should have went Sorcerer of Death in that case. Oh well, too late to think about this now. Mistakes were made. Alright, looks like our opponent is ready. Okay, they're going for an infantry spam, so yeah, this might work a little bit better in our favor. Although, yeah, I probably should have won Spirit Leech. Because Throg is there just absorbing all the damage. He's just gonna keep healing himself. So, yeah. We shall see. Alright, our front line's still getting absolutely wiped by those Ice Wolf Chariots. Ice Wolf Chariots, Ice Wolf Chariots. Oh, wait, no, stop throwing your explosives. Alright, cool. There we go. Front line, they can get blown up. I don't really care. Alright, pull back these Bull Center Renders. I need them to maybe stand back there. Alright, you guys can go charge that. We have a bit of a... Alright, fly over here and blow them up. Thank you. Wait, why are you there? Oh, misclicks were made. Alright, breath attack. That was disappointing as a breath attack, holy shit. What were you trying to do here? Alright, blow up the stuff at the back there now. My opponent has more mobility advantage here, and that is a bit of a problem. And I don't have a good use of this spell casting ability. Hell Cannons are still doing a ton of damage though. Good news, I guess. Alright, go pressure that. And you guys drop the artillery and run. Because the Javis are close. Let's get some. Alright, keep flying around. I need you to just keep moving. You can't eat too much damage here. Oh, I forgot to turn on these abilities. Damn it. That was bad. And they're getting close. Everything's getting Swarmed on all fronts. Alright. Got rushed down. That was not great. Definitely should have went for the burning head, actually. Huh. Alright. Looks like... Definitely should have went for... Oh yeah, we also didn't use up all the Blazing Beard's explosives. Alright, let's fly back up to the skies and get a breath attack into this block. It's gonna be a friendly fire, isn't it? Alright, I guess we've got some damage done. Dive them. But yeah, I think that's basically it. We didn't slow down the Norscan rush long enough. And our artillery position got swarmed in the end. Yeah. Only the Blazing Beards are still holding everything's dying. And yeah, GG to my opponent. That was a nice build. We expected a slightly more infantry heavy build, but we still didn't quite manage to beat it back, unfortunately. Also, the mobility advantage with the Ice Wolves really helped tearing my attention at the back line there. And yeah, the Bullsend. Oh, I forgot about them. It would have been a lot more useful if they were near, if I had them earlier. But oh well, too late now. I forgot about the Bullsender renders. Damn it. Mistakes were made. Alright, actually, let me just concede. GG to my opponent there. Alright, see. It's the best of 3, so we are gonna do another, at least one more round. And if I manage to claw one back, we'll move on to the 3rd round. But Norscan only has 3 lords available. So they have to use all 3 of their lords. Well, this best of 3 is, I guess we're using a special rule, is we can't use the same lord in every battle. So like, since I use the Sorcerer Prophet now, I have to use another lord. I can't use a Sorcerer Prophet of Death or Metal or Fire because I've used the Sorcerer Prophet. So I need to use something else for the rest of the best of 3s. Need some armor in that build, I think. Yeah, for sure. Because I've got pretty much nothing to slow down the enemy push, to be fair. So maybe if I cut out... If I go cheaper with the Lord, like going with, say, just Zatan on foot, that might have been a little bit better, freeing me up more funds. Wait, no, not Zatan on foot. Or Astrok? Drazwav on foot, maybe? Freeing more funds up, just so I can get more troops to slow down the enemy push. Oh, they're Marauder champions. Okay, I didn't even realize. I need to check every single unit now, in the future. I always forgot to check every single unit, so I see the Marauder champions. They look exactly like Marauders with great weapons, so I assume they are a Marauder with great weapons, and yeah. I underestimated the front line. Oh, that's why they also didn't really afford the skin wolves, because, well, Marauder champions are expensive too. But yeah, GG to my opponent, they're very well played. Managed to swarm my positions with a sheer amount of Marauders, really. And the Ice Wolf Chariots also did very well. Alright, next up, 2nd round, let's see what happens here. We might want Zatan this time. Baited Stick Snare. Should I just... No, there's no way he's gonna... I was thinking of bringing a Kadai Destroyer, but I'm sure my opponent is just gonna spam me with a bunch of Javelins and Throwing Axes again. So let's try Kadai Fire. No, they only have 80 armor. Yeah, that's shit. Let's try this. They want to go infantry? I'm gonna go infantry then. Alright, a Bull Center Render. Astrogolf Iron Hand. Just cause why not? What else? Turn that on. Not Burning Wrath. Hellhammer. And Cascading Fire Cloak. I'll just get these two. Kindle Flame and... yeah, that will be it. We're gonna go on a melee rush. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's see. I might want to bring... can I bring 3 Infernal Iron Sworn? Just let me double check. Yes, I can. Okay, 100, 100, 100, and 100. That's 400 models. Super tight, super elite. Let's see what happens. I don't even know if this is gonna work at all. Not gonna lie. Actually, just turn those off and let our infantry do the job. Alright, let's go. Let's go. We're going super narrow this time and see what happens. That's some heavy metal for sure. Now, I didn't bring the other heavy metal, aka the Kadais, but still. Heavy metal infantry spamming those expensive units. I mean, I still have 400 models, so I still meet the minimal troop count, I think. But yeah. We're going elite today. But they also can bring Wolfric, which will just wreck some of my units, I guess. Oh, wait, no, Wolfric's bolt doesn't have all armor piercing, so I think we can still do alright. Yeah, anyways. Doesn't matter, we'll just keep our troops nearby and Strogoff, Iron Hand. We're boxing a bit here with a little bit of mobility. Yeah, when we're done with deployment. Alright. Get ready. Get ready. Looks like our opponent is ready. So I'm just gonna start. Alright, the whole point is we're gonna hold the fucking line. Oh, it's... Oh, it's a Spirit Leech caster. Oh, no. Yeah, we're a bit fucked, though. How am I supposed to deal with the Spirit Leech caster now that, okay. Oh well, we're not getting any... we're not getting any explosions now, so let's just Alright, let's just blow up some of their marauder. Oh shit, I forgot about these guys on the flanks. That was my bad. And Astrogov, of course, is getting melted. Great times. Alright, let's just get the guy over here and maybe start fighting, I guess. We've got a boat. The boat isn't a big problem. Let's just go fight that. Oh, I forgot these. They overchased. Ah! I only have like I only have 8 units, and I still mismicroed a bunch of them. Damn it. Mistakes have been made. Yeah. And these are pretty bad mistakes too. Nope. And yeah. Astrograph Iron Hand constantly getting Spirit Leech also does not help. Yeah. Now that I used up the Saucer Prophet, my opponent can just easily just bring in some resources and drain. Easily knows that I have no more healing items against against his Spirit Leech, so he can freely use Spirit Leech and deal with my lords at this point. A nice army pick actually with my opponent in this best of 3 format. Very much picked out my weakness and counter it very accordingly. Great stuff actually. Yeah, great stuff. Just bring them out a bit. Let the Immortals do the fighting in here. And get the explosive units over here. Astrogolf is a bit busy here and there. Now the biggest problem is our some of our units are just too busy chasing things. Oh, and oh shit, the Infernal Castellan is also going down. Oh, that's not great. The infantry is doing work, but they can only do so much against fucking mammoths. Oh, he's here. Okay. Yeah, I can't really do much about that. Let's just go in there and. Oh well, that was a pretty explosive damage there. That was good. Can we get some explosives in? Alright, let's just pull out there. Pull out of there a bit. Stay away from their missile range for a little longer. Oh, yeah, Astrogolf is gonna go down. That's not great. We captured a point. Not that it helps. We're not gonna hold that for... we're not gonna hold that for like almost 10 minutes. And we're probably very unlikely to do so. Especially with all the Spirit Leeches, yeah, it's pretty much impossible for us to do it. Yeah, oh, I think that is it. That is our run. Our opponent will be reigning victorious in this casual 20. I went to meme, flew too close to the sun. Army losses hits. Only thing that was kind of holding is these very healthy Infernal Iron Swan, but they are not unbreakable. So Army losses hits and they go down. GG to my opponent there. GG to Scabrand for winning this 20 with the Norscan army. Very nicely played from our opponent there, although also it didn't help that I kind of threw away in the last game with this army build. But yeah, it is the infantry were doing a lot of heavy lifting. It's just that unfortunately I mismicroed my mobility there, and that really didn't help, and I probably should have cut out the Infernal Castellan for something else. Very nicely played by my opponent with the army picks, knowing that I picked the Saucer Prophet and I would not be able to pick them again in this best of 3 format, and counteracted my Lord choice very nicely. GG to my opponent there, and that is it for the live action, the live battle section, and then we're going into the replays. Congratulations to my opponent, to Scabrand, for the win with all those Ice Wolf Chariots and Mammoths as well, seeing the Mammoth with War Shrine appearing multiple times over the course of this tourney. Usually we only see a War Mammoth, not the one with the War Shrine, but this time, yeah, he got the upgraded version of the normal Mammoth and used him well. Alright, next up we have a few battles in... Okay, let's see. Yeah. We've got a few battles here from the various rounds of the tourney, and I need to download whatever I haven't saved yet. Give me a second, just making sure that I have everything in the replay file, and then I can just keep casting until the end. Okay, we've got 3 more replays that I need to download, so give me a second there. Alright, that's done. Yep, we have auto replays. Alright, let me just hydrate. Next up, we have Bretonnian versus... Oh, wait, hold on. Warriors of Chaos versus the Dawi. Koreo going with Warriors of Chaos, going with quite a few foot heroes. And I'm surprised they are bringing Harold Hammerstorm, Harry the Hammer, against the Dawi when the making undead route trait would not work here. These are Slayers, these aren't undead, so they're not going to be afraid of Harry. But yeah, we have Aiko, Harold, Hammerstorm, and another Foot Lord, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Metal, with oh, interesting. Yeah, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord has a Tormentor Sword as well, so he can lock down the enemy units and keep them in the fight. So perhaps he's trying to lock down the enemy Slayer characters. But yeah, other than that, like a Russ as well. And then the front line of Murderers of Khorne, Murderers with great weapons who are already getting bombed by the enemy Gyrocopters with their brimstone guns. Chaos Warriors with great weapons going for a very infantry heavy army to try and overwhelm the Dawi formations. And on the other side, for VM Flower, a front line of Iron Breaker, second line of Miners, one of them the Ekran's Miners with extra rounds of blasting charges, and then Dragonback Slayers and Giant Slayers guarding their rear. I assume the Slayers, the Iron Breakers and the Miners are on fire at will, and as a result they're wasting a lot of their explosives as they're just automatically chugging it into the closest target, which is Aiko Hellbrass, and he doesn't really care about explosions. You can see doing very minimal damage in the process, while the Miners on his flanks are having a much better time bombing up the enemy Marauders. But of course, the Chaos Warriors have heavy armor, they don't really care about explosions as much, and are getting into the melee combat relatively unscathed. Well, anyways, in the front line, the Aiko and Harold Hammerstorm duking it out against the double Slayers. The Dragon Slayer and I think that's Garagrim Iron Fist, right? Let me slow down a bit, sorry, I haven't went through the entire army build here. Give me a second. Oh man, I can't see shit. Yeah, Garagrim Iron Fist is in the fight. And both of them are just smashing up poor Aiko. Aiko needs to pull back and heal somewhere instead of fighting in the middle of the double armor-piercing Slayers. Either ways, on the far side, their Dragonback Slayers have managed to catch up to some Martyr Horsemen as they're slowed down by the Master Rune of Slowness, and on top of that, Flammable from the Dragonback Slayers, dropping their speed down to a meager 9. They're not running away from the Slayers anytime soon. Alright. Although, there's a lack of options against the Gyros, as the Murder Horsemen with Ring Axes are a bit occupied on the flank. So the Brimstone Guns are just burning down the enemy formations, but the Chaos Warriors with all the armor, they don't really care. Harold Hammerstorm, he is unbreakable and he is duking it out in the center over here. Maybe he want to drop in a few more explosions, I guess, but he probably already dropped it in. Anyways, he is having a good time here. Great weapon strength and melee stats as well. Smashing up the poor Dragon Slayer, being an unbreakable combatant and all. Aiko is... I can't see where Aiko is. Did Aiko went down? Oh shit, Aiko went down? Yeah, I can't see Aiko. So Aiko's healing is not a, yeah, it's not an equation anymore, as he got taken down early. But yeah, there's still a lot of heavy armor warriors, just slowly grinding through the enemy formations here. Some of them are able to get onto the Miners, now crushing them in melee combat, though the Ironbreakers are going to hold a little longer here, being the elite melee combatant of the Dawi. Also, the Murder Horsemen, the one that did not get caught by the Dragonback Slayers, are able to maneuver around and try to go after the Gyros with Brimstone Guns, who, although they are a little bit faster and are able to stay ahead, and they're flying around, so they don't really care about ground troop presence, and are able to circumvent the enemy troops while the Murder Horsemen, unfortunately, are just constantly getting stuck behind enemy screening. Anyways, Herald Hammerstorm has been slain, being struck down by Thoric Ironbrow and the Dragonback Slayers and the Garagram Iron Fist. He did manage to deliver a Harry the Hammer, Hammer Smash onto the ground and blew up some Dragonback Slayers, but things are not looking great for the Warriors of Chaos as they are being worn down bit by bit throughout combat. Yes, the Great Weapon Warriors are making progress, but at this point, they have been taking too much damage. Their main characters are all out of commission. There's no more options for the Warriors of Chaos to take down this core of single entities of the Dawi, which is infamous to know for how tough they are and how annoying to deal with in the late game. And yeah, looks like the Giant Slayers and also the fact that the Brimstone guns are just sitting in the skies, not having anything to threaten them, just gives them so much free reign to burn down the Chaos Warriors. Yes, they have armor to mitigate some of the flaming damage, but unfortunately, it is not enough. The damages adds up over time, and the Marauders being worn down by explosives and just the shield wall of iron breakers, they were not able to make a lot of progress here either. Yeah, Acolt just got taken out so fast. I feel like even with his regeneration, he is weaker than a lot of people expected. I feel like. Yeah. Like he is not as tough as Sigvold. Like the stats doesn't seem to be as good. He doesn't have perfect vigor. He also, yeah, he just doesn't seem to be as good. He lacks the kind of damage output that Sigvold can have once in a while with his Sliver Slash, and yeah. Oh, and he doesn't have Slippery. He's not Slippery. He's teamed. He's not Slippery like Sigvold. Yeah. And the Chaos Warriors also didn't just keep getting burnt by the gyrocopter with brimstone guns and got forced off over time through sheer attrition of flamethrowers. Like you can see the infantry didn't do a whole lot of damage, but they just held the line, letting the gyros do all the work and the single entities to kill off the Warrior of Chaos characters. So yeah. That was a straightforward battle. Next up, we have Bretonnians versus Norskins. Skybrand the Exiled going with Enfingrim. Skyla Enfingrim. Seeing him a lot more these days because of that rampaging explosion. A front line of Marauders. Once again, seeing Ice Wolf Chariots, multiple Marauder horses, 2 throwing axes, 2 regular ones, 2 Ice Wolves. And once again, War Shrine Mammoth leading the army throughout the Troll King, supported by a Metal Caster. Skyla Enfingrim, and then on the other side of the battlefield, King Lu and Leon Kerr, a front line of peasants. Peasant mob, spearmen arms with shields. At the back there, peasant bows with fire arrows, and then one single Blessview Trebuchet guarded by more peasants. Once again, Archangel, Angel slash, wait, is that Archangel? Angel or Archangel? Excuse me, it's Angel, sorry. Angel plus, Angel slash Knight 2K is, going with that peasant heavy army. Wait, no, hold on. There are the Grail Knights. They are the Grail Knights. 2 Grail Knights. They are gonna be the main carry of this Bretonnian army for sure. Peasant Bowls opening fire at Skyla Enfingrim. He does not have regeneration, unlike Frog, so he's bailing out of there. Neither of them have much armor, so they don't really want to get shot at too much by the enemy archers. Well, meanwhile, the Marauder Horsemen are flanking around, going into position, ready to just maybe jump onto the Peasant Bows. They do have to be careful not to stray too close to the Knights of the Lady, the Grail Knights, or else they might risk getting slain in melee combat. Or they don't want to get too close into the archers either to get shot up. Oh, King Luan trying to go for a risky dive, but unfortunately being lured back into Skyla Enfingrim and getting rampaged by that explosion. Now he is pinned down by just a bunch of multiple very elite melee combatants here. Throughout the Troll King with anti-large armor piercing, Skyla Enfingrim also getting some really good hits in, and on top of that, Fight or Die has been activated by Frog there. Oh no, that cuts off King Luan from his passive heal. as the ladies champion is no longer usable once he is yeah, when he has routed. And yeah, King Luan, no more passive heal, meaning that oh no. Yeah, there's okay, yeah. Oh no, King Luan doesn't have any heal, so the Damsel of Beast is just gonna be dropping in Flock of Dooms, trying to drain away enemies' health, but King Luan would not be able to get back into the fight in a good shape. And things are much more risky for the Bretonnians now. They are still holding formation, but they do not have the control of the capture point, and their formations are getting torn apart by the Norskins. Like some of the spearmen at arms have been routed away and are being chased down by the murder horsemen. King Luan are just kind of skirting on the edges of the engagement. He does not really want to commit too fully, as he does not want to get tied down in another fight between Skyla and Frog, which he is gonna. Oh, he's gonna take exactly that. He has turned on Lion Shield to try and counteract the final transmutation, but he might have activated it a little too early. Half of the damage has been mitigated, but yeah, he still took a bunch of damage, and that is like a permanent mark on his HP bar. The Grail Knights also has taken that damage, as they were right next to him when the final transmutation happened. And now King Luan being stuck between a Mammoth and Frog's giant stone mace, and getting sandwiched by two very hard-hitting combatants. King Luan just getting smashed to bits. And there goes King Luan, I'm afraid. He has been slain. Without their king inspiring the lesser peasants, these unwashed peasants are just gonna flee for their heals. And that is gonna be GG here, as the Bretonnian army collapses. And not even the Grail Reliquae can keep this army together. Man, the Skyla Infringrum is such a dangerous factor on the battlefield. Like, Norscan actually has a way to net people down now. It's not a traditional net, but it can still manage to pin people down into fights they do not want to go into. Not only do they have slow, they also have at rampage, making them a lot more deadly to deal with mobility, like King Luan on his Beaky. But yeah, very well played by Scabrant the Exiled here with that rampaging Skyla Infringram ability. The archers try to do a lot of damage against the Mammoth because of the massive hitbox and not the toughest armor around, but still just getting showered by arrows means that War Mammoth is just gonna die. Very well played. And what's next? Oh, we haven't seen this one actually. Yeah. Alright, next up we have Vampire Counts versus Bretonnia. And Bretonnia this time going for a very peasant heavy army here, and very narrow too. We're not seeing any Grail Cavalry, no Grail Guardians. So it is just the infantry of the peasants holding the line with artillery support and Grail Reliquae keeping everything in the vicinity. Alright, next up. For the army builds here, the Vampire Counts, Stonesmen, Skeleton Spears, and Zombies in the front line. Going with a little bit of a... shit. That's not parallel. I forgot the name of the shape, but yeah, anyways. Going for a bit of a chevron formation here. But yeah. Black Knights on the flank, Black Knights with Lances and Barding. So there is some heavy cavalry. Vargheist in disguise there with a Necromancer, which has been kind of forgotten, but I mean, he's just there for the Forbidden Rod, I believe. Although he'd probably want to be in the front line as well, just providing that Rigor Mortis and Unholy Lodestone heal to surrounding units. But anyways, leading the army is Manfred von Karstein, Koningstein Stalkers as well on the front line, and that's it for the Vampire Counts army build. For the other side, for the peasants of Bretonnia, front line of Battle Pilgrim, second line of Men-at-Arms with polearms, and a single blast feud trebuchet at the back there. already chugging rocks at those vampire formations, trying to smash up some of these stonesmen and cut off some of their models before they regenerate. Green Knight and Gotrek protecting the Fey Enchantress. And yeah, that's it for the peasant army. Oh yeah, double Grail Reliquary. And the peasants are just gonna box. Where did all the money go in this army? That makes no sense. I don't see any... Mounted Yeoman Archers are scattered across the battlefield, trying to take out the Necromancer, but even with, yeah, but even with only a corpse card, it is still a single entity, and cavalry can't really take them out fast enough here. With such a small unit model profile. Anyway, Stonesmen clashing into Holy Wardens of the Mason Tau. Unfortunately, the Stonesmen are elite combatants with regeneration and anti-infantry bonus and heavy armor, which the Holy Wardens doesn't really have the AP to deal with. Although the rocks are putting a dent in the Stonesmen HP bar, though, equalizing the fight a bit, and also Fey Enchantress joining the fight and draining down those filthy undead. And more rocks coming in from the Blessed Few Trebuchet as well. Over here, though, a rear charge from the Vargai smashing apart some of these Battle Pilgrims and Manfred von Kossai diving in, trying to snipe out the Grail Reliquary and making sure that they cannot provide that prolonged leadership support. Anyways, the Stonesmen, after all the rock smashing and of course the Fey Enchantress using that Mist of the Lady, things are looking much better for the Holy Wardens of the Mason Tile, using the Holy to beat up the Unholy. Fate of Buna onto the Man-at-Arms with pole arms, probably thinking the Battle Pilgrims are not worth that spell, as they are probably just gonna get rear charged to death by the Vargais. Wait, I feel it's weird because like I feel like this Bretonnian army is definitely undercosted. Wait, what the fuck happened to Manfred there? He just got deleted by Gotrek and the Green Knight. What the fuck? I didn't even realize he died so fast. Holy shit. Oh, yep. I guess Manfred overestimated himself in front of these two elite combatants. Both with a very powerful weapon strength armor piercing. Man, Gotrek and Green Knight melted Manfred there. I mean, I guess at this point, Vargais can still keep cycle charging, but the front line has been dealt with by the Battle Pilgrims. The zombies are no match for these frenzied combatants, and the cavalry are cycle charging, but are being slowly worn down by the Man-at-Arms pole arms over time. With Manfred dead, there's no more tools for the undead to bring this one back, honestly. What the fuck happened to Manfred? I need to quickly check again. What the fuck happened to Manfred? What do you think is undercost in Bretonnia? All the peasants, I guess? I guess the Bretonnians did bring the more expensive peasants, to be fair. 650 for these bunch, and so that's probably like... Oh. That's like 3,000 on the Battle Pilgrims, and the 550 for the Man-at-Arms pole arms, if I remember correctly. So that's another 1,500. Let's say 4,500 for the infantry, and then 5,000 something. Yeah, 5,000 something for including Blessed Few Trebuchet. 5,500 for the Blessed Few Trebuchet. And then 3 more Mounted Yeoman Archers, which are like, I don't know, 700? Or is it 550? Let's say 600 for each, so like 2,000. So 7. Oh, okay. I think all the money went into the characters, to be fair. These are some very elite fighters. Yeah, I'm just quickly rewatching this bit just to see what the fuck happened to Manfred there. Like, even if he died, it's a little too fast for a combatant that has Invocation of Nahak to heal himself up. Even if he could have pulled himself out. Like, I don't see how he died so fast there. Okay, Green Knight went there, but he got stuck behind a bunch of stuff and didn't really get to Manfred. And Manfred got out. Okay, and he tried to go after Faye and Enchantress and was left in the fight with Gotrek and the Green Knight in the fight. Oh, turning on the favor of the Fae to couple with Dolores Blade. 124 attack from the Green Knight, 600. 600 plus weapon strength for a second there. And remember, the Green Knight is 100% armor piercing, so all that damage is armor piercing, as long as he can dish it out. Poison debuffing him a bit right now, but all that damage being armor piercing, going straight through all that armor on Manfred and slapping him into the dirt. Yeah, that was a brutal fight for Manfred. Staying too long in the middle of Gotrek and the Green Knight, especially with Dolores Blade on. Yeah, Manfred was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, overstaying his welcome there. Oh shit. What did I do? Have I deleted the wrong stuff? Let me quickly check. Oh yeah, I haven't seen this one, I don't think. Wait, hold on. This is Hayseed versus Angel, which... yeah, which we've already seen. And... done. Bretonian versus Norscan, that is also done. Yeah. Okay. Norscan versus Skaven, that's done. Yep. Okay, last 3 battles today. Skaven versus Dowie. It's a crutch match, and I think Dowie usually have the advantage in this one. Oh, wait, no. The Skavens usually have the advantage in this one because of the Death Runners. They are anti-infantry armor piercing. Perfect to deal with a bunch of Dwarf infantry. Trade well into Slayers, trade well into Dwarf Warriors, and the only thing that can really kill them are explosives and gyros. But then again, if you're playing as a Skaven, you can bring out a bunch of Jezzails to counteract the gyros. But yeah, let's see the army builds here. For the Skaven, the front line of Skaven Slaves, second line of Netty Bubo, Sharpshooter, Death Runners, Victor and Staff Squad, and Red Ogres guarding the back line as well. Doom Flayers to deal with the enemy, to open some tin cans with their armor-piercing anti-infantry, and Wolf Rat on the far side as well. More Death Runners, and leading the army, a Kick Claw with some more Night Runners on the side. On the other side, for the Dowie here, front line of Dwarf Warriors, second line of Rangers and Miners of Blasting Charges, third line of Grudge Rakers and Ulthur's Raiders. So, yeah, the Grim Dwellers and Ulthur's Raiders providing a lot of AP damage, but not exactly great against Skaven, I don't think. Yeah. But yeah, immediately the Jezzails are opening fire at the bolt thrower, and because these are the regiment of renowned Jezzails, they can't be seen. They have snipe, so they don't reveal themselves even when they are shooting. So yeah, Garagrim, Iron Fist, and Thoric are trying to scout ahead and spot those Natty Bubo's Sharpshooter, and you can see Garagrim already beelining straight for the Natty Bubos. Although the Natty Bubos already taking out half of these bolt throwers here, down to last four models of artillery. Yeah, last 4 artillery models here. Red Ogre, still seeing that Garagrim and Thoric are beelining for the Jezzails, decided to walk up and intercept them and help the Jezzails retreat while the rest of the Skavens are moving into flanking position. Getting the Red Ogres onto the Miners, though the Skaven Slaves take the damage, but they're just Skaven Slaves. They can, it's worth it if they absorb some of the damage. For the rest of the stuff that are coming in, Death Runners, like the Victor and Staff Squad, they are a lot more vulnerable to the explosive charges, but they have a wrong attacking target onto the Miners at the back there, but didn't really have to charge harder onto the Dwarf Warriors and Miners over here. On the far side, things are going on all over the place here. Jezzails are trying to get away, but being hit by the Master Rune of Slowness. they have been tied down. So that means they can't really move around to keep running away from the characters, and that means they will probably die. Oh wait, no, seems like they're starting to run again, and trying to stay ahead of their opponents. Death Runners are cleaning up the enemy Dwarf Warriors with no problem at all, as long as they're not getting blown up by explosives. Although these ones seem to have blown up by explosives. Fighting a bunch of Dwarf. Oh wait, no, never mind. Wrong unit I was looking at. These are Red Ogres. Just stayed in the fight for too long there, but Victor and Death Squad have no issue slicing and dicing those poor miners and Dwarf Warriors, and now more Death Runners are into the back line, alongside with the Doom Flayers shutting down the enemy bolt throwers there. It kicked Claw though, getting stuck in the melee against some Grim Dwellers who are a decent melee combatant, and he's being dragged down. Death Runners over here as well, taking some explosive damage from those miners here, but if they can weather this, they can just get into the melee fight later, and they will excel in it. Anyways, on the far side, Netibu Sharpshooter are running for their lives, so Red Ogres trying to sacrifice their lives and save these weapons teams. But overall, I feel like the Skaven have a little bit are a little ahead here. They have a lot of melee threats remaining who can threaten the missiles, which is most of the balance of power for the Dawi. Like the Red Ogres and are taking quite a bit of damage, but the win condition here are the Victorins, Death Squad, and Death Runners, who can catch up to the Dwarf Infantry and also very effectively kill them all. Oh, a little bit of a Warp Lightning, but yeah, managed to get some nice damage done onto the Ulthor's Raiders, and the Skaven Slaves are catching up to Ulthor's Raiders. They will be pressured and won't be able to go into melee effectively against all these chaff. So Death Runners are duking it out against miners, and they should have no problem handling these Dwarven chaff. And yeah, the Dwarf army is pretty much all over the place, and that means the speed advantage that the Skavens have will give them a big advantage. Yeah, sorry, will give them a big advantage here. And yeah, all those raiders will be routed off. We can probably fast forward here, and everything that the Victorins, Death Squad, and the Death Runners touch will just get melted, except the characters, I guess. It's gonna take them some time, but yeah, right now the Skavens are just gonna clean up the stragglers who are scattered across the battlefield, and then do a final Alpha Strike onto the triple characters. Or they don't even have to do that. They just need to capture the point and just hold the line long enough for the game to end. Anyways, all the scattered miners and rangers and whatnot are being pushed back, especially with the Victorins, Death Squad, and some of the Death Runners still online. The Dawi have no hope in outrunning these rather fast action units. Netibubos, after being chased for half the battle, still are alive, and now the Death Runners are just surrounding. Ooh, that's a nasty Rune of Wrath and Ruin. That's why you don't really want to blob up against enemies. You never know what kind of aces they're gonna pull out of their back pocket. That one card from their back pocket, that Rune of Wrath and Ruin, suddenly breaks a bunch of poor Night Runners and Death Runners. And suddenly the single entities are back in the fight again when they were previously being surrounded and overwhelmed by a bunch of anti-infantry armor-piercing combatants. Not that it's... I feel like this is still only prolonging the inevitable, but still. A nice attempt to claw the battle back from the Dawi here. Though, unfortunately, it is still not enough. The Death Runners are just too good against the Dawi. Perfect counter against the Dawi armored shield wall there, and everything got sliced and diced. So there's that. GG to both players, and yeah, the Death Runners, definitely a strong carry in this matchup. The Doom Flayers also did well, but yeah, definitely it's the Death Runners doing most of the work. And yeah. And as we can see here, the Grim Dwellers and the Ulthor's Raiders didn't do a whole lot of damage, as they do not have a lot of good targets to shoot at. The Grim Dwellers can deal with enemy infantry, so this the shotguns can still earn back some value, but the throwing axes are very much specific for enemy armored constructs, vehicles, monsters, that sort of stuff, not infantry. And against Skavens, the most likely thing you'll have to deal with are just a ton of Death Runners, and yeah, that would be very rough for the Oathless Raiders in my opinion. Like, my way to build an anti-Skaven build is probably just gonna max out the miners with blasting charges, max out regular rangers, and go full Vanguard. And even bring in some Bugman's Rangers, even. But yeah. Oh, and of course bring in some steam gun gyrocopters. They help too. Especially using their guns to blow up a bunch of Death Runners. But yeah, that is gonna be this one. Next up, we have Warriors of Chaos versus Skaven. Oh, this is I think the last time we see this one, it was pretty rough for this. No, it was pretty rough for the Warriors because they got blown up by a bunch of Poison Wing Globes. We're not seeing any Poison Wing Globes here, so it's probably good news for the Warriors of Chaos. We shall see what happens here. Curio going with a front line of Marauders with 3 Forsaken. Forsaken theoretically good against Skaven Slaves and all the Skaven Chaff units, but I would say if you're going with a bunch of Forsaken, might as well just bring Aspiring Champions, because Aspiring Champions is way better at handling the Poison Wing Globes. Way better at tanking all those Skaven weapons team's fire. But anyways, for the rest of the army build here, there are some Hellstriders on the flanks and Chaos Knights with sword and board. Murder Horsemen there, and leading the army Azazel, ready to go in with that Rampage effect and lure those Skaven ranged weapons into melee. But yeah, a whole lot of Murder Horses on the flanks, providing mobility and skirmishing firepower, while on the other side for the Skavens, a front line of Skaven Slave Spears, and backed up by a couple Storm Vermins and a ton of Night Runners and Gutter Runners, I think. Just Night Runners? Just Night Runners, I think. Teeth Breakers for that, suppressing rattling fire, but their accuracy is a bit rough for them to do anything noticeable in battle. Red Ogres protecting the backline with some armor piercing and mass, and leading the army is a Master Assassin. You don't really see him a lot, but he seems to have this ability called Looming Dread that reduces enemy defense and speed. The speed reduction is very important to help you keep up to enemy lord, and that might be able to pin down Azazel if he even dares to drop onto the ground. Warlock Engineer. Howling Warp Gale to lock down enemy flying units, and Flensing Ruin. So if there's a Howling Warp Gale lock down Azazel in the skies, and then the Flensing, and then Rattling Guns just blast him down, maybe it might work with a combo. But then again, the bullet spread of the Rattling Guns are a little bit too much. So a lot of their shots often miss, especially against like foot-sized targets. So let's see if it has anything, if it does anything here, but we shall see. Skaven Slaves are trying to hold the line. Night Runners moving up, dropping some shots onto the Chaos Knights, but they have so much heavy armor they don't give a shit. Marauders and Forsaken will have no problem clearing the Skaven Slaves, so something needs to be done about this front line unless they want to see it break ASAP, and then the weapons teams will start to go on the run. But yeah, anyways, Azazel flying around, not doing a whole lot, as the Marauders are taking the brunt of the fight for now. Chaos Knights and Hellstriders are flanking around into flanking position, ready to jump onto weapons teams. Oh no! The Forsaken having their flanks exposed to the enemy Rattling Guns. They're actually getting lit up. Ah, here comes the combo. Howling Warp Gale locking down. Oh. Nope, they're still shooting at the Forsaken. So the Forsaken are getting absolutely lit up by the Rattling Gun, while Azazel is just getting pinned down. Nothing's really shooting at him, other than the Master Assassin. Nope, Master Assassin also not shooting at him. So the combo was for naught, unfortunately. The combo is almost done, almost used up. The missile resistance is almost gone. Finally, the Rattling Gun decided to turn around, but it's too late. Azazel can start moving soon, although still managed to knock out a quarter of his HP. That was pretty impressive still. Now they're continuing to shoot, but now mostly they're just missing. And the damage resistance plus the physical resistance? No. The missile resistance? No missile resistance. Just the damage resistance, helping Azazel tanking some of those Rattling Gun shots. And then there's the Rampage from Pavane. And now the Teeth Breakers are no longer firing. Still, the Skavens are still having an upper hand right now, able to beat back the enemy Forsaken and Marauders with their sheer numbers and their weapons. There's Doomflayers and Red Ogres combined, while the Chaos Mobility are struggling to shut down the enemy units, to shut down entirely the skirmishing, as there are still some Night Runners running around and chugging out scrap metal. At least good news is the Teeth Breakers are down. They're done for. So they're dead, I guess. But yeah. Right now, even the Chaos Knights have taken quite a bit of damage, being stuck in the middle of a bunch of anti-lock units and armor-piercing units for a little too long. Murder Horsemen trying to chase down the enemy routed troops, making sure they're not coming back and cut off any further reinforcements for the enemy. Storm Vermin getting a bit out of position, though. They need to return and help out the rest of their army. Whip of Slanesh. That is quite a painful spell. It's fully armor-piercing, so even against the Storm Vermins and whatnot, they will still do full damage. Lash of Slanesh, actually. Is it for Cleansing Ruin? I think it might have missed the enemy units when it got casted. Oh wait, no. Yeah, never mind. It's just affecting some random Marauders, and Azazel doesn't really give a damn. So that's why you want to cast a spell directly onto your target, your #1 priority target, because otherwise they can just move out of the area, and your spell is mostly wasted. So yeah, Azazel still being relatively healthy, but his army not so much. Getting stuck in the middle of a bunch of Red Ogres, Doomflayers, and Storm Vermins for a little too long. They're being worn down by sheer attrition, and also the Murder Horsemen are not exactly the best combatant in melee around the world. So yeah, they are taking a lot of damage. But now the Chaos Army pretty much are down to just the Murder Horsemen and Azazel himself. There's still some Chaos Knights around, but they're not that healthy. And yeah, they're not going to enjoy staying in melee fights for too long, especially not against Red Ogres and Doomflayers. Balance of power is in Skaven's favor, but when we look at the battlefield, they are also running low on troops. A lot of trading throughout the battle here. Forsaken versus Skaven slaves and versus Marauders versus Red Ogres and whatnot. But yeah, Hellstriders being a very squishy mobility, they are gone. They're done for. There's still some tattered Night Runners and Doomflayers around, but here comes the Murder Horsemen, knowing that these Night Runners probably only need a couple charges to rout, decided to try and pick out some isolated targets on the battlefield. But things are not exactly going in their favor right now. Red Ogres and Doomflayers are nearby, and also Storm Vermin. So after a cheeky charge against the Night Runners, they have to quickly pull away. Probably they might actually want to just chuck the Javelins and kill off the Red Ogres first at this point. But yeah, I guess they're not doing that. Every time they're charging in, they're taking a bunch of damage, though. I'm gonna fast forward a bit, as Azazel is starting to do some Psycho Charge, but also eating a Cleansing Ruin. Seeing that it is free, there's nothing in the vicinity to support him. Azazel is just gonna go for a Lord Snipe, but everything in the vicinity is affected by the Cleansing Ruin, and that drained out a good chunk of the balance of power from the Warriors of Chaos side. Army losses got hit, and that is gonna be GG, with the Skaven getting a win. And yeah, I wouldn't bring Forsaken and Marauder spam against the Skavens. I'll probably just bring Aspiring Champions, because Skavens are really bad at dealing with low model count monstrous infantry or just regular infantry. So like something like yes, something like Aspiring Champions would be very tough for them to deal with, because Aspiring Champions have Silver Shield, so 55% of missile block chance, heavy armor, and a very small unit profile, a very small model, and missiles are very hard to hit them. Yeah, and it's gonna take forever for Night Runners and Gutter Runners to shoot them down, and it's gonna be a big waste of ammo as well, even if they're dedicating their time to shoot down those Aspiring Champions. And then they're not afraid of Burning Head, they're not afraid of, they're less susceptible to Cleansing Ruin, they are not afraid of Brass Orb or Warp Lightning, they're not afraid of Poisoning Globes or Plague Mortars. So yeah, aspiring champions are just really good into the Skaven front line, I feel. But of course, you need to combine it with other tools as well. So some mobility and a Prince Sigvald, perhaps, just to get some more tools to deal with enemy characters or harass enemy back line. But yeah, overall, the Storm Vermin held the line very well. And then the Doomflayers are not opposed at all. They're just running through enemy infantry and then grinding down enemy cavalry and whatnot. Yeah, very well played from both players. The Night Runners are just constantly running away and evading combat and just kiting. Good stuff. Alright, one last battle for the day, and then I need to go back to work on some stuff now. This is the Undead Vampire Counts versus Norska. Alright. Let's slow down a bit and get through the army builds. I mean, these are undead, so it's going to take them some time to get to the front line. But let's see what happens here. A front line of zombies mixed in with skeletons and grave gods. Yeah. Connect Stalkers? Dernsmen, actually. Zombies, these are skeleton spears. More zombies. At the back there, a bunch of Black Knights. Seems like the undead player VM Flower here is taking a liking towards the Black Knights in this particular tourney. On the far side, Dia Pack to chase down enemy large targets like these lightly armored mortar horses in the skies, Varguys, and leading the army is Heinrich Himmler, who is not exactly a great combatant, but he does have some neat items and abilities. He doesn't have his Chaos Tomb Blade, so there's no passive regen from him, but he has Lord of Undeath, which can summon Krell, and otherwise he's basically just your typical undead caster. Invocation of the Heck and Van Helston's Macabre. Looks like they're trying to go for a melee attack focus army for the day, and try to trade in melee fights. On the other side, for the Norscan, they are going very swift and agile today. 4 units of Murder Horsemen, 3 units of Marauders, just regular Marauders, and then a bunch of mobility in the form of Norscan Ice Wolves, and yeah, only less than 750 models. That's a small army. Norscan Ice Wolves, and then 2 Skin Wolves, and 2 Frostworm ready to just blast down those undead with their freezing breath attacks. Chaos Frost Dragons. One of them, the Cold Voider, leading the army, Warwick the Wanderer with his boat and Hunter of Champions, plus a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. That's it for army builds. Let's see what happens. The Norscan army, having the mobility advantage, are concentrating their forces onto one flank, onto the left, trying to probably gonna crush the undead formation from one side. You can see that basically the entire Norscan army is here ready to deal with only just a few units of zombies scattered around, and they're not gonna stop those Norscan troops effectively. Oh, there's a Kritora at the back. They're not great though. But yeah, the Varguys, seeing the double Frost Dragons coming in, knowing that they have no way to challenge them in the air, decided to just drop down on the ground and get into the protection of the Black Knights and Kritoras and whatnot. But overall, the undead needs to start moving some of their troops to the right flank, or else they're just gonna get enveloped or entirely flanked. It seems like that is what happened right now. What's happening right now, but yeah. The Norscan Marauders are just avoiding combat, trying to wait for those Frost Dragon to get into position, or just pick out some isolated undead units that are a little bit forgotten, like these Dire Pack, who are now prone to a charge from the Skin Wolves, from the Frost Dragon, who are also slowing them down with that Frostbite attack. Oh, is that a Chill Aura nearby? Yeah, the Cold Warrior does have the Chill Aura. That's a total of minus 16% speed. So yeah, the Dire Pack are not getting out of this one with the Skin Wolves hopping in. That's a free kill for the Vampire. Yeah, that's a free kill for the Norscans, getting a really nice advantage, making the undead losing a great tool that could have pressured these Murder Horse Masters and Horsemen. And at the same time, Skin Wolves have engaged at the back there, getting some damage onto the Black Knights, but they themselves taking a lot of attrition in the prolonged combat. While the undead troops are now stationing themselves around the capture point, but they do need to start piling in. Oh, actually, maybe not. As the two piling in Black Knights kind of overlap each other and make them a great target for the Frost Dragon breath attack. Either way, Marauders are pushed back, and the Skin Wolves are being beaten by a concentration of Black Knights, who does have that big charge bonus thanks to their... oh, they're a bit tired, so the value is diminished, but still, thanks to their Lances and Barding, great charge bonus, doing great damage, and all. I wonder that Heinrich Kemmler dropped in a Dance Macabre to help the Black Knights as well, but anyways, looks like... oh no, Heinrich Kemmler! Oh... great combo with abilities and abilities and contact effect. Chill are up. That is a minus 30% speed. Frostbite, another minus 30, and then another minus 45 of the Hunter of Champions. A total of minus 105% speed, but you can... I think the reduction is capped at 90%. So, yeah. Heinrich Kemmler getting his speed reduced by a total of... yeah. Oh, huh. I don't know what other stands for, but yeah, Heinrich Kemmler is just barely staying in the fight. Barely able to move, actually, yeah. Only with 8 speed left on him. And keep getting smacked by Wolfric the Wanderer as well. Final Transmutation upgraded, that is going to be a killing blow here. He's trying to drop in Krell Summon before he goes down, but Invocation of the Hag to counteract some of the direct damage, but without the Chaos Tomb Blade, he has a lot less of that passive healing that can help keep him alive, and he will be crumbled to dust. And that probably is the end of the undead army, unless they can hold the point long enough for a good 8 minutes. But without Invocation of the Hag, I really doubt that. Yeah. The Varguys, the Varguys and Crypt Horrors are taking a lot of damage. Wolfric, though, being trapped in the middle of a bunch of Varguys, is getting slapped by Krell, but he's managed to squeeze out, and there's nothing the undead can do to catch him at this point. So Krell probably just want to go back and keep slapping, chopping up those Frost Dragon, but yeah, there's no micro on him right now, and he's still trying to go for a Wild Goose Chase against Wolfric, which is not going to happen there. Yeah, he's just going to keep running away, and Krell will not be able to reach his target. But the undead are still constantly capturing the point though, and the balance of power is fairly even. But yeah, once Krell goes down, the balance of power will just drop a bit for the undead. And with only zombies and grave gods, they can't really hold the line forever. I don't know if they can even hold the line long enough for victory at this point. I mean, they still have a lot of bodies, a lot of HP, and most importantly, the Stunsmen are still here. But they don't have the leadership. Oh, the Corpse Guard is here to give them a bit of Rigor Mortis. Oh no, they need to stand on the capture point, because as soon as the Norskin captures the point, it's over for the undead. Breath attack onto the Corpse Guard, trying to weaken this final bastion of leadership. Not really leadership per se, but the Vigor does help with a bit of the leadership of the undead. But yeah, I don't think it really matters. The double Frost Dragon are just trying to snipe out the Corpse Guard, and the undead are not on the capture point. They're essentially giving the Norskins the victory tickets, and it's too late now. There's no way. I don't think they have the ability to like regain control of the capture point. I mean, they're still grinding down the Frost Dragon, and the Crypt Horror managed to pin down the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal, but these are just undead grave gods and zombie chaff, and they're just wet noodling the enemy army. And especially with these double Frost Dragon munching on the undead in Flash, yeah, they're just going down over time, being searing doomed to death bit by bit. Well played by both players, and that is gonna be the end of this one. Nicely done with one of the Black Knights catching the enemy, some of the Black Knights catching the enemy Skin Wolves, but unfortunately, Heinrich Kemmler is just too fragile. And once he gets caught by Wolfric and maybe some Skin Wolves, he's basically dead. And also, like, there are 2 Chaos Frost Dragon ready to snipe him out. I feel like the undead is just in a really rough position right now with the limited tools they have. All they have are either mobility that is not particularly tanky, or undead troops that are just slow, sluggish, can't really take the initiative, take control of the battlefield. And like their cavalry aren't that great either, with the heavy cavalry lacking armor piercing. Yeah, their mobility are very fragile with the Vargheist and whatnot. So yeah, they just kind of died pretty fast. Yeah, it's pretty rough to be an undead these days. Well, to be an undead without gunpowder or range attack these days. Because like stuff like Vampire Coast, they have mobility, they have skirmishing, they have range attacks. The undead like the Vampire Counts do not have those. Tomb Kings, they have long range attacks, they have missiles, they have skirmishing, they have mobility, they have monsters. Vampire Counts, they have none of that other than monsters, and they're not particularly good monsters either. So yeah, things are not great to be an undead these days. Frost Dragon doing a lot of damage throughout the battle. And yeah, that is going to be it for today's 20. Oh, the final transmutation was pretty deadly. Basically, the thing sealing the deal for hiring Kemmler. And yeah, that is going to be it for today's stream. I hope you all enjoy this little bit of a midweek multiplayer battle. And if you enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It would be nice to have a little bit of boost on the stream and give it a little bit more exposure. And that is it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this little bit of a midweek tournament action, and whether you have joined in the 20 or just watching on the stream. And congratulations to Skybrand for the win with the Norscan army, with his War Shrine Mammoths and also the Ice Wolf Chariots. That should be it for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Tactical Lich signing out.